Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. It's our Feel Good Friday, and we have WWE Smackdown. We have AEW Collision and a little bit of Rampage. We got so much to talk about, so much to get into, a crazy night, and a farewell to Fox all to be had. So strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your Feel Good, get in the chat, click all the buttons. Make sure you join the party, join the fun. Let's see triple digits in the chat tonight. But folks, welcome to the Wrestling for Life Network. Let's go! Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We are the channel that just watches more live streams than anybody else out there. And we are back at it again for a jam-packed night. Of course, we got SmackDown on a Friday, a farewell to Fox, like I said. Plus, we got a 2-hour Collision and I believe a 2-hour Rampage. We got lots to get into, lots to talk about. It's going to be a fun night here. And we will be here all night long. Back at it tomorrow for All Out. On the eve of All Out, we still got a couple hours to get through. It's going to be a fun one, folks. Get in that chat. Be a part of the Wrestling Utopia. Be a part of the family. We are growing by the minute. We appreciate you being here. But we're going to talk about all this stuff, rumors, news, ratings, and everything else in between. So make sure you don't be shy. Don't be quiet. Say some stuff. I hope everyone out there is happy, healthy, and safe. But for the next few hours, you are locked in with Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and Mr. Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight KJ White. I am Big Nick, and I believe this is the first time SmackDown and Collision have gone head-to-head, toe-to-toe.
Yeah, I mean, I can't recall, as I punch my stuff, I can't recall. I think there's a couple times it's been on the Friday, but they generally go at like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. They've done that. So head-to-head, very interesting. I mean, Collision is intriguing as far as what they book. Some interesting stuff on the card for Collision tonight. But again, the big story tonight will be SmackDown. If you can see right below me, the new logo that they will use next week when they move away from Fox. So
I had heard about that. I hadn't seen it. So that's, I mean, it doesn't look too different than what it was before, unless I'm just really misremembering. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it didn't go too far away. Plus, I believe the actual, like the WW is going to change. But we'll see. A lot of changes coming. Netflix is on the horizon. It's USA Network Week coming up. There's so much to talk about in that regard. But again, a lot of talk, a lot of debate about how things are going in the wrestling world. And again, SmackDown looks crazy. They are heading towards Bad Blood. We got Collision on the eve of All Out. So Nick and I are going to try and keep our eyes on 2 screens at the same time. Last week it was 4. This week it will be 2. So again, when we tell people out there, when we tell the Pope, when we tell
right.
people out there,
we talk to Jesus. Stoner Jesus shouldn't show up in a minute now.
But when we say that we watch more live wrestling than anybody else out there, we are not exaggerating. It's not a line. It's not a gimmick. It is a way of life. And we thank everyone out there for being a part of it. I will click on the super chat already. Bradley saying, a toast to the last SmackDown on Fox. Oh, hell yeah. So goodbye to blackout screens. Goodbye to beeps. Goodbye to a whole lot of nonsense that we didn't need. But, you know, a few years now on Fox. So shout out to Fox for what they've done. So long. Farewell.
Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. Fox you. Fox you. Fox you. Fox you. Fox you.
Fox everybody.
Right. Because I just can't stand. It's been known how much especially because you apparently don't get it in Canada, but I'll get it, and it'll just be in the middle of, you know, The Rock's promo or something like that, right before WrestleMania, and it's just dark.
You're like, dude, treat us like fucking adults.
We're adults. We're adults.
But ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a fun one here tonight. Like I said, lots to talk about. I see that chat filling up. We will say hello to everybody when we get there. Do remember our preview and predictions for All Out after you watch us tonight. If you want a little more content, we do have that up tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. We will have Anthony's TNA review as well. Lots of news coming out of TNA. Lots of big surprises, including Xia Li, who's now there. Reckless just signed as well. So
Jordan Grace will be on NXT next week.
Jordan Grace will be on NXT. So yeah, it's been crazy. Carmen was there at TNA as well as Ariana Grace, who's now the liaison between TNA and NXT. I found that very interesting.
Well, she can go meet with Mr. Iceman there with Ash by Elegance, and they can liaison. You can have the concierge with the liaison.
Facts. So, but like I said, folks, I hope everyone out there is having a wonderful week. You put the week in the books. Friday is done. We are going to cap it off with a little bit of wrestling tonight, and then we have the weekend upon us. So, yeah, without further ado, Nick, where do you want to start this little shindig? Maybe
I was just going to mention and point out too how this is going to be the first time in 2 weeks we haven't had an afternoon brunch with the boys. Yeah. That is also a funny thing to consider because we had All In and we had Bash in Berlin. Right. And now we have to get to sleep in.
We're going to sleep in and we're going to have an evening with the fellas. So it's going to be a fun one. Tonight, lots of talk going into this one about Cody Rhodes responding to the challenge from Solo. Will they run it back at Bad Blood? There's been some mixed feelings about this. So I can't imagine they're not going to, whether I like it or not. But it really feels like that's where this is heading. That
I know when they're going to run it back, or I assume I know when they're going to run it back. They're going to run it back next week on the first episode on USA Network as a ratings bump.
Oh, okay.
I've heard that they're going to avoid it being on a pay-per-view again because you kind of know at this point he's going to lose. You probably get something there, but I think that they're going to run it back like we've seen with Raw doing the Howdy match,
and then Roman,
Raw or NXT doing Jordan Grace. SmackDown's going to have something to bump their ratings going on USA.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's a really good shout, actually. So we will get that response tonight, and again, having Roman Reigns on the premiere also makes sense as well. So I see that Bret the Hitman Hart's going to be there Monday. Wyatt Six is going to be on it Monday. A fatal 4-way for the #1 contender of the IC title. So holy hell! But yeah, I do like that idea better than it being another pay-per-view match and trying to stretch the story of Cody and Solo, as we do feel like Cody, oddly enough, as champion, is a bit of a placeholder for Roman at this moment.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say it fully outright hurts Cody's reign, but these constant, you're opening the shows with the belt and everything. That's the same belt that he just won off of Roman. That was finishing the story, and we go from finishing the story to opening the show.
I don't necessarily
a little fallback.
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel like that.
In the sense of they haven't given him anything to really run with that, and Solo ain't it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that there was a compelling bit here and a reason why Solo would want to try and avenge the loss of the tribal chief and return the title to his family. But yeah, I mean, I've liked Cody's title run overall in the sense of I thought him and KO had a really good match. Him and AJ had a really good match. Him and Solo might not have been the best of matches. So again, we will very much see where this goes and takes it on. Bradley, thank you so much for the super chat. Remember, folks, the super chat, the super stickers, that's your way of guaranteeing to be clicked. We click on more chat messages than any other channel out there. So if you want to make sure that we see it, the super chat's the way to go. And you support the channel and you help us pay for some pay-per-views and subscriptions. So thank you very much.
You just help us keep growing and keep doing that thing out there and everything. Well, I didn't want to skip the line real quick, though, with this one from Trekopedia. I hope I said that right. But saying, KJ and Nick, you guys rule. Found you from Geekbox sharing your reactions. Everyone help these guys out. Like, sub, and share, please. Absolutely.
That is
doing that thing.
That is beautiful. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to Geekbox as well. A big friend of the channel, has a big hand in a lot of what we've done over the last little bit. We appreciate him. As I always say, he's the world's second favorite box out there. And we do appreciate all the love that we do get. So we're glad you found us. I see Big Dog. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's just say hello to some people. We already started it off. Rocco, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Saturday night main event is coming back, an NBC special. I was pumped when I read this. Like, I felt like a 10-year-old of like, really?
See, I wasn't of the Saturday night main event era, I guess. I didn't catch it really ever. So I get the nostalgia. I get the appeal to it, but I wasn't like, fuck yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I do think it's going to be, a cool thing to bring back. And especially, we talked about it, I think a while ago, of with the merger, with the sale and everything like that, that NBC was going to want to work in its own little individual deals and everything like that, its own little couple primetime events throughout the year. So I think it works perfectly.
Yeah, no, I like it. And again, again, we've seen this happen. I just hope they put a little bit of effort into making it cool, making it worth it. I don't want it to have like that battle of the belts, like we're obligated to put some matches together.
Right.
I hope it's a little bit more grandiose than that. So we will see how they do it. I was excited about it. I mean, right now in wrestling, and I know people really focus and dwell on the negatives of wrestling, and the internet wrestling fan base can be a little bit toxic. I mean, we even talked about it this week. You know, Adam Page and Swerve do one of the best angles ever in AEW history, and there's still people that got to poke holes in it. I don't care. There's so much exciting shit happening. Main event coming back, Netflix, USA, new logos, new signings. Shayna Baszler resigns. They're about to re-sign Sheamus. Like Ricochet goes to AEW. That's kind of cool. We're still trying to figure out where MC. Like, there's so much to. If you're a wrestling fan, there's so much to be happy about and so much to be excited about.
And everybody just, at least on Twitter, seems to focus it on negative shit. But yes, it is very much thy cup runneth over when it comes to cool shit going on right now in pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So to just be mad about shit is just, that's on you, dog. But back to Saturday night's main event. If they did it a little bit like a B show kind of pay-per-view-ish, a little bit like how when NXT will do its special, you know, at weekly episodes, something closer to akin to that, I don't think it'd be a bad idea.
Yeah, like a jacked up, you know, a jacked up SmackDown, like a jacked up weekly show, like, you know, a little more sizzle into it. I think it'll be great. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Again, more exposure. I don't know if anybody saw Paul Heyman and Roman on Bloomberg. I think it was Bloomberg. But
yes. I caught bits of that.
You know, they made a lot of good points, and I know there's detractors of the WWE out there, but the idea that like this is like a different level. Going to Netflix is a deal like no other. I know some other companies are hoping for their TV deals, but it's nothing in comparison to what's about to happen with Netflix. Being available in 80 countries and you know, kind of expanding, doing these NBC things, the crossovers, kind of becoming a very mainstream product again. It feels like the good old days.
A bit, and that's the thing, though, when you mention Netflix, is are they going to mention a little bit in the Vince McMahon documentary too much of the good old days and kind of the good old boys doing not so good old things and everything?
See. Yeah.
Because Conrad, I heard this quote from him of saying that it's basically a two-shovel burial of they really dig into it and that WWE's not too pleased about it, which tough shit, but it's interesting that this is going to happen on Netflix right around, or actually before they go to launch on to Netflix.
Yeah, because it starts on the 25th of September, which is not far from now. And folks, stay tuned. This channel will have something involving the Vince McMahon documentary. So stay tuned for our programming. Click that little bell so you don't miss anything. But we will be bringing some type of, we haven't decided what yet, but we will be bringing something to the table circling around this 6 1-hour episodes.
Mini series. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how far they go. I've read some Vince McMahon books and stuff, learning that, you know, he had a really interesting upbringing, but everybody wants to know about the meaty stuff. So I think this is going to be very interesting. And I really hope that they didn't hold back. I want to know. And again, I think for the WWE, the answer becomes, he ain't here no more. So yeah, he might have sucked or that might have sucked, but that's the past. Can't change it. See you later.
Well, and it is still an ongoing litigation and everything. And that's even why when it gets brought up at press conferences and people are shocked that they don't answer about anything, it's an ongoing case. They can't say anything about it.
Yeah, but that makes it even harder, right? Like,
yeah.
People talked about, you know, Janelle Grant trying to be interviewed and stuff. You can't do it. And again, they're going to talk about the scandal in his exit, but it might be a to be continued. Then maybe we get like the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard fucking type documentary after. So we'll see.
Well, could you, or even you just, the amount of streamers and everything like that, if that was an actual public trial to where we could sit there and live watch and react to it, oh my God, we'd have to take a vacation from work to sit there and watch that.
Yeah, I would. But American Nightmare getting sued. Welcome back, C Money. If this lawsuit goes through, does Cody have to remove the tattoo from his neck? What is up?
It doesn't say it on it, does it? It's just
no,
the
it doesn't.
logo. Yeah, fair enough.
So weird.
Well, I thought for half a second it might have. I'm like, wait, is that why you would have had to?
but it's kind of funny. But I mean, it's interesting. Like the American Nightmare thing isn't new. Like it's just random that like all of a sudden someone was like, "Wait a minute."
No, but I think it's more of they leased it and then they broke like
Broke the
the
lease. Okay.
lease or something like that, and that's why he's now going after them. Um, Something to that effect. I'm amazed, honestly, if I'm WWE, that you just didn't buy the fucker out of it. You bought out Yeet. Why would you not buy out American Nightmare?
Maybe I don't know. I mean, an oversight. Maybe they thought they were good to go. I have no idea what the parameters are. So we will give people more of an update on this as we know more. But yeah, very interesting that all of a sudden it's like, hey, now. So
You're a rock star. Get your game on. Get sued.
get laid. Congratulations to Rick Moss and Emma. They're having a baby. They're having a baby. Yes. Emma was at the Black Label Pro yesterday, but she wasn't participating as far as I know. Riddick made a fucking impression on a lot of people through this. He was out there being a badass. We'll see what he does. I think he's not done with wrestling. So
he's a TNA guy, I would feel.
Yeah,
TNA
that's not a bad show. But yeah, congratulations. Eric, welcome back. Hey fellas, are you ready? I say, are you ready for the Friday Night Wars tonight? SmackDown and Collision. Yes, we're always ready, folks. We don't like you, B. All right. Hey, guys, I'm going to CAW September 18th. All right. Well, bring a sign with our logo on it and prove that you do it. We'll send you a T-shirt. Do keep that in mind. Might send you two if you can get it on cam.
Well, I was going to say, we got some fresh merch that you can go and get there, too. You can wear right to the AW shirt that's called, Meltzer shirt.
Right. They're selling like hotcakes, folks. Get them before they're gone.
Right.
Everyone, happy Friday. Daniel, Barry, Sports, Highlights. Welcome back. Welcome back. Kevin, it's always a pleasure. Hope you're doing well, sir. Damien, Sheamus is closing in. I did hear that as well. Really? Happy SmackDown Day. Scott Rizzo, one of the men who are supporting literacy in the world. We appreciate his support. And I hope I'm not letting the cat out of the bag by any means, Scott. But we do appreciate the love. Be like Scott. Go get your F Meltzer t-shirts ASAP. Because, like I said, they won't be here forever.
Help fund the Center for Meltzers Who Can't Read Good.
What is this? A library for ants?
For Alvarez?
For Alvarez. Eric Tate, how you doing? Christian Powers back with us. Final SmackDown on Fox. Fired up. AEW all out tomorrow night. Live pay-per-view. Looking forward to Adam Page versus Strickland. Absolutely. Everyone buy a shirt. There you go. Scott been telling everybody. He told people on Twitter. We appreciate that. Anybody that's sharing the gospel according to Wrestling for Life, we do nothing but appreciate. So thank you, Scott.
Right.
I love the new SD logo. Yeah, not really a deviation too far, but it does feel a little more updated. It feels a little more high def. It feels a little more, it doesn't feel as flat.
Well, again, it's got a little shoe polish and everything to it, especially as a channel that constantly is trying to, up the game when it comes to the visuals and everything like that. Can appreciate a good shoe shine on, a new logo or anything.
Bradley, we said hello to you. Welcome. AML 1977. What's up? Jordan Elder, welcome back. Eric Tate, we got you. Will Raw have a new logo? The one they got advertised right now is just, it was a red logo. Usually they use the white, or they had been using the white more. The red and white kind of interchangeable. Nothing solidified as far as altering the overall look of that one that I know of yet, but I will keep you posted, and we probably will be one of the first to have it. So,
right.
316. Yes, sir. The biggest heel was Dark Match, Dirty Dom, hopefully with Dirty Liv. Why does it sound wrong when it's Dirty Liv?
Because, very much is, that's provocative.
Right. What's up, Trip? How you doing? Whoop, whoop. How's the hang down SmackDown time, boys? Let's go. As we are about 9 minutes away from the start of the show, I see Ibrahim, I see Byron, Geek Box, the world's second favorite box out there. I can confirm the Wrestling for Life shirts and comfy as to wear. That's it. They're comfy, they're quality. I got a few myself. I know you got a couple.
I got some on the ways. Yeah.
So Chucky Ducky Quack Quack, Keyshawn's in the house. Denisha's back with us. I think I got Ibrahim. Ken is with us. Vance shouting out Polo, who's with us. What's going on, Ryan? How you doing? 50-50 odds, maybe. Not sure what that's the answer to. But
well, that was about Manny coming back, because that was from the whole the combine thing. If she started to talk about, she kind of misses wrestling here.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting. And again, I like when people talk about maybe she goes to AEW, I just don't know. Like, it just doesn't feel like a great fit for her. I could see her landing in TNA before AEW, but I also could see her coming back to WWE.
I was just about to say, it sounds like a really nice ending to the Fatal Influence angle and everything like that. Just a wee bit. And she could even, maybe she brings back a friend like Gigi or something, and we kind of, go away with that.
I'd be very happy if we got Gigi and Mandy back together. That'd be lovely.
Right.
Mr. Golfer says, free Larry. Free Larry. MDB, welcome back. I love when KJ says about. He's all his Canadian jumps. That's not true. That's not true. You shut up. Lies. Saturday night main event was epic back in the day. I hope it brings the same pop and validity that it used to draw. Yeah, big dog. I mean, again, I hope they do it right and they do it in a way that, I mean, they're going to be up against Collision, so I think they're going to want to do well. They're going to make it, destination viewing.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And especially if it's these limited kind of pop-ups from MVC, they're going to want to get their money's worth here.
Right.
So especially the first one, they're going to have to show up and show out.
Right. Bonkers, welcome back. Dale, the OG's in the house. Trek saying, just call me Trek. That's what my friends call me. Well, there you go. There you go, Trek. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being a part of the chat, the channel. We do appreciate it. I will remind everybody out there, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and don't forget those little reaction buttons. Let's massage the algorithm. The channel is on fire, and we can't appreciate it enough.
Right. Well, I like this. To follow right off of this, I had to give it the star of Lisa saying, wrestling for life, the men, the myths, the legends, let's freaking go. Absolutely. That needs to be a goddamn t-shirt slogan or something. That's a tagline right there, is what that is.
I like it. I like it. I do.
Speaking of the men's, the myths, and the legends, at Ringside or Anthony, what up, my guy?
The Chapeau.
Well, formerly known as the Chapeau. The artist formerly known as the Chapeau.
There you go. There you go. We need the weather to cool down and get a Chapeau back.
Yeah. Well, we're getting into the fall season. I mean, granted, he's in, the South, so that might be, he's got to wait until like November for it to get cool, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Cody's reign has been mid as hell. Just like the majority of his career. I'll never forget when Cody didn't wear knee pads. Fair enough. Fair enough. I disagree. I think Cody's done really well since returning to the WWE. Super over with the fans. Arguably one of the top baby faces, if not the top baby face. Fans love him. And again, I think his title reign's been okay considering it's early, it's young. And I do anticipate he's going to have the belt for a hot minute.
I'm conflicted because I want to say something, and I know you're going to instantly call me probably a hypocrite for saying something like this. I almost feel like Damien's title run was slightly somehow better than Cody's has been a little bit right now. Cody's has just been down the center of the road. There has been nothing that's really he's been able to sink his teeth into or whatever. Like, there was at least more compelling stuff circulating around Damien's title run and everything than there has been with Cody. Like the most, I know, that's why I said it, and I was hesitant to say it, but the most interesting.
But are we not giving any credit to like
the most interesting thing? Let me finish my point, sir.
All right,
around Cody Rhodes has been the Bloodline. It hasn't even been Cody's title run.
Yeah, but I mean, again, like he stayed away from the Bloodline for a little bit, and I don't know. Like, are we not giving him any credit, like, for what happened at Backlash? Great crowd, good match with AJ. I didn't mind his match with Kevin Owens. Maybe they weren't groundbreaking or had the big epic turns, but just as far as a straight up, pure, good wrestling match, no interference, no extra bullshit. Like, for all the months we listen to wrestling fans, like, all Roman does is cheat to win. Now we got a guy who goes in the ring and wins bell to bell without the bullshit. And to me, that's quality. I thought Cody versus AJ was great.
The matches were good. No one's, I guess, judging the in-ring quality. It's, I guess, more of everything around it. You went from coming off the heels of finishing the story to now we're kind of here and it doesn't feel as important, I guess is what I would say.
As important. I mean, I don't feel like it's lost importance. I do feel like it's new. I do feel like it's still like within the 4 or 5 months of his reign, or I think we're about 5-6 months now. But yeah, maybe there could be a little more juice on it. Maybe it is a case of like there hasn't been a deep angle. Like we had AJ fake retirement, we had KO gifted a title shot. So maybe it was, and I think part of it is actually to kind of agree with you. I don't think Cody has felt like he's been in jeopardy at any point in time so far.
Facts. And that's a bit of coincides with he hasn't had any sort of real story since WrestleMania. So we're going on 4 months now. He hasn't had a real story to sink his teeth into anything.
Yeah, okay. I can get behind that. Do I think it's been a flop? Do I think it's been...
No one's saying it's terrible. Yeah. Everyone's just saying it's mid. It's just down the center of the lane.
Yeah. And I think they could do a better job of, I mean, nobody thought Solo was going to beat him. Not many anyway. Nobody was like, we did our previews and predictions leading in and we take our votes. It was like 90% Cody, like the odd, diehard KO fan and me were like, KO's going to win.
Right.
But I think that's a valid point, a fair point, that at no point, and I will say, you're going back to your Damien comment, which I thought was funny coming out of your mouth.
I know.
We had more time to debate the matchups for Damien than we have it was like, is Cody going to win? Yes. But me and you fought every time Damien was going to defend. So that's what I think is lacking. I agree with
that's why I think that's interesting and why I kind of went the way I went with it, because there's been more back and forth, even between us who do this day in, day out and everything, over those matches than any Cody match at any point in time.
Fair, right? Like, it's not like Roman Reigns is returning to get his title and you're like, oh no, what's Cody going to do? At no point have we really felt like he was in jeopardy. Like, he'll find a way to pull this out. AJ's not beating him. KO's not beating him. Solo's not ready to beat him. Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Well, Rashad with the $5 super chat saying, how do you guys feel about the Hangman Page Swerve crash out so far with their 4th match happening? I think this is the best feud in AEW history. See, he's even got the fireworks. Make sure that the house that's behind him there, all those towers and everything were still there. The building's still there.
No, it's been great. And again, I've been critical of certain things, and I do feel like there was times where Adam Page kind of got lost. He was helping the Elite, then he wasn't helping the Elite. If you had deleted all that extra shit, this is beautiful storytelling. Like, it's streamlined. There was some fluffy parts there that didn't need to be, but there's been nothing like this in AEW since maybe, would you say, CM Punk MJF?
That was my only other close comparable. And it's funny how, honestly, Hangman's been in pretty much all the really good feuds and storylines in AEW, whether it be him versus Omega, him versus Moxley. Now it's him versus Swerve.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair argument, man. Like, I think at the end of the day, we have to acknowledge the fact that, and I give Adam Page credit. Like, I get mad at Adam Page's booking. Oh, by the way, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting the start of the show. Forever.
I have now on SmackDown.
I got Forever on SmackDown.
I just got Forever, and I've got Collision. They're showing the crowd right now.
I got to catch up on Collision. I forgot about the second screen.
Fair enough. Well, right now, are we together on SmackDown?
I got the WWE logo.
Yes, I just got together, and I'm getting a replay from last Wednesday on Collision, and I've got the arena shot for SmackDown.
Rogers Center,
Alberta, Canada.
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Yes.
The gateway to the north.
Steven, what up? Saying last time this is going to be on Fox. Absolutely. And I did see your other comment, Steven. Our all-out predictions, if you want to see that, we did that last night, so you can go and check that out after this is all done.
Yeah, and we will be here early tomorrow to remind people what we think and see if we've changed our minds. So be there for that. Nick, as soon as
we got to cover the other 5 matches that get announced tonight on Collision.
Fuck.
And the 3 0-hour matches too as well. Don't forget about that, as I've got Giovanni Vinci.
And they're making a big deal about him. I like that they're making a big deal about him, Nick.
because they want to have a premium live event in Italia. So of course we've got to put a,
right.
Cody's get those Cody Rhodes American Nightmare autographs now before they got to get fucking claimed in a lawsuit.
Oh shit! I might not be able to.
I can keep us going on Collision if you need me, but
no, I got Collision. I might actually be stuck ahead of you, but
that's fine. Whatever. I've got Nigel and Shivani.
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay.
This particular app doesn't like to be paused, so I might. Oh, we got Nigel and Tony.
Yeah, I don't mind. Well, I don't mind half this commentary team.
Again, I think if you have like if Tony is like the second and just chimes in, not as bad as Tony trying to be like 1A, 1B with Excalibur. And even on Wednesday, I had a lot of issues with Excalibur.
Sorry. What the fuck is going on with Marina Shafir with the raccoon eyes? Is that just like a thing of if you hang out with Ronda Rousey, you got to have raccoon eyes? Shayna does it, Ronda did it. Now Marina's doing it because she's now like Lady Venom to fucking John Moxley's Carnage or whatever the fuck's going on with this.
So, ladies, sorry, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, SmackDown is kicking off. We are getting a replay from Berlin, and Collision's kicking off as they are setting up All Out. We talked a lot about All Out last night, so we're not going to talk a lot about the predictions and such. Like Nick said, you can tune into that after we're off the air tonight. But lots going on. We will keep you up to date on both shows.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ronan, what up? Oh, he was just saying I got Collision and they're showing the steel cage for tomorrow's show. Now, last thing before we're talking about All Out. No, but is it just a gimmick on a gimmick? It's a hat on a hat of you're having an all lights out steel cage. You're having a no DQ steel cage match, which is already a no DQ match. And normally a lights out match, you're fighting throughout the whole arena, but a steel cage, you normally just stay within the cage. So how does this end? Does someone have to literally cease to be?
If he dies, he dies.
Ivan Drago.
Listen, I know what they're doing. Sometimes to me, again, it kind of lacks it lacks the I think someone with a little more experience booking would know that you just make it a lights out match. It covers all the bases, the cage, and then all the additional stuff. Like do one or the other, but it's fine. I don't want to be nitpicky as I got Mark Briscoe coming to the ring and getting jumped already by Lance Archer. So jumpstart.
I still have what they're announcing on Collision, so you might be calling Collision.
I might go to my alternative to see if that helps.
You're fine right now. I've got them talking about up next, Mark Briscoe versus Lance Archer. I've got one Cody Rhodes, the American Daydream, I guess. Is that what we should start calling him now?
The American Daydream.
Coming out.
Looking dapper, folks. Cody is dashing, according to the fan sign.
Well, he was at one time dashing Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, he really was. Any idea when Becky's coming back? We don't. I think she's going to take an extended sabbatical. I think that's healthy for her. Again, you letting wrestlers have time off, make sure that you don't get sick of them. So I don't mind her stepping away for a little bit because, again, when she returns, she's going to be a top lady at the top of that chart, and people are going to roll their eyes like, oh, fuck, she's back again. So let her breathe. Let her spend time with her child. And again, I have no worries that, and again, I know some people are anticipating, her showing up in another company. It's not going to happen.
Mm-mm. Rubble would be my earliest guess. And if it's not there, then it ain't going to happen probably the rest of this year or anything like that. And yeah, it's funny how the minute she came back from her previous little leave and everything, it's Becky Hogan, it's all of this. Like, just shut the fuck up.
Well, and again, people had that twisted because she did the company a favor. As folks, we will take your predictions. Who do you got? Mark Briscoe or Lance Archer? And Cody Rhodes is going to respond to some Samoan Samoa.
To the not Samoan Joseph, to Samoan Solus. Challenge here.
Samoa.
Yes, that's Samoan.
I love it.
Primo Ren.
What's that?
I was just saying, Primo Ren saying, Sup KJ Nick, you hear news about TK, new character, trademark El Clone or the Clone. Yeah, I think they lost the E on that, but I'd seen that flirting around, tossed around. Some people were questioning the validity of apparently AEW is filed for the trademark as far as an entertainment purpose and to use someone's for a likeness and everything of the clone or El Clone, like El Clone. And everyone's like, he's just making more wrestlers now. He's just going to find someone to fight hologram now. Everybody's like, who gets repackaged now?
The hologram thing, listen, I'm not going to get behind it. It's
trash.
You already had 25. Like, if you want to, impress me, push the superstars you already have. Coming out with another, makeshift lucha is not going to do it for anybody.
Right. By the way, for everybody watching Collision, the winner of this match is Mark Briscoe, who's already busted open. Yeah. The winner of this goes on to, this is the qualifier, right, for the Okada belt.
See, we don't even know. The Continental title.
I'm like, Continental, International, Intercontinental. Which fucking belt is it?
Oh, and well, look, I was talking about it on Wednesday when I did the stream. He is bleeding bad. Yo, was that an accidental?
I feel like that was, he got a, gig the hard way there.
Mm-hmm. As Mark Briscoe setting up the chair, the ref saying don't do it. He says, I don't care. Up and over. What do you want to talk about? Briscoe for the win. I mean, it's funny because you never see Lance Archer, and then all of a sudden he's in like a number one, like technically he's that close to being a number one contender. You're like, that's strange.
Well, I mean, Kyle Fletcher just came off the Hey, we forgot that this is going to be the debut of the commentary team of Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Hey.
The new graphic on the desk is cool. I'm going to hijack that for some visuals.
Yeah. Well, I saw some people were like, how do you already have the visual? We got sources. We do the things.
We got here, folks. We got our ear to the ground.
Right. And I was going to say something probably much worse.
Mm-hmm. I like Nick always says, that's why we are replicated. We are duplicated.
Often imitated, never replicated, never duplicated. We do what we do because they can't do what we do.
That's right. And just when they start doing what we do something else.
We're CM Punk out here. Just when they thought they got the questions, we changed the answers.
Facts. As they boo. And here comes Solo and the Bloodline.
Which this will not be the last time that we see them tonight because they're also in the 8-man tag match.
8-man tag.
Street Profits, and I forget who's the other team.
DIY.
Of course. Of course, the very forgettable DIY.
We are do-it-yourself. Is it do-it-yourself if you have a partner?
Depends on how willing that partner is or how compatible that partner is.
It's like 40-year-old virgin. Play with yourself, play with a friend.
Right. Like a bag of sand.
Who thinks thumbtacks will be used in the steel cage match? Man, Christian, it could be thumbtacks, glass, fire. I have no idea. We've already seen these men drink blood. We've seen them burn houses down. Somebody mentioned in the chat, now he's an arsonist. Listen, guys, that is where you have to let your imagination. Yes, he's an arsonist, but that's it. We're good. Like, we've seen, again, we've had so many different angles. We've had damn near homicides happen on TV. It's part of the experience. So again, for those out there like, this is silly, you're supposed to go to jail. Like, let's
I have heard people say that AEW already has a contingency plan that they will actually do on TV to explain why Hangman Page didn't receive any legal ramifications for his action.
That's playing to the hypermarks. Don't play to
the If you do that, you fuck the storyline because we get it. We don't need to care. That's the shit that made when Randy Orton burned down Bray Wyatt's, fucking Shaq and everything. No one's like, that man should be in jail. Why the fuck's he having a match? When Triple H busted into Randy Orton's house and was fighting him in front of his wives and kids and shit.
Hey, you want to
that's a breaking and entering. He should be in jail.
Yeah, you want to stick to continuity? Well, I'll tell you what. You have Paige show up in a fucking cop car at fucking All Out. Like, he had to pay, he had to pay bond. He had to pay Dog the Bounty Hunter. What?
He's out on parole.
Yeah, I don't care.
That'd be an actual badass entrance if that motherfucker shows up with Chicago PD fucking bringing him out. He's out there in cuffs and shit. That'd be badass.
Dirty Dom didn't really go to jail, folks. I hate to fucking ruin
I hate to bring it to you.
But
Solo was pointing at Cody's belt. I had you beat. No, you didn't, bro. It doesn't matter whether you win by a quarter inch or a quarter mile.
If it wasn't for Roman Reigns, as Lance Archer is decimating.
Biggest pop for Roman, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Pillman showed, Pillman's got a gun. One of the classics. Again, though, we had men running around with sledgehammers, and look at all the assaults and fucking harassment that the NWA committed, and look at all the shit we've been through. That's the fun of a show, guys. I think too many of the internet modern fan are like, oh, I Googled it. You didn't really go to jail. You're like, relax, right? Again, like I said last night, Nick, they're not really fucking dragons. She's not on a dragon. Like, it's not a real dragon.
That's the best defense. They're not really fucking dragons. As we got a giant "We Want Roman" chant on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
That goes to anybody that says anything negative to say about wrestling. They're not really fucking dragons, bro.
It's not really a fucking dragon. Like, all these people, you watch all this fucking entertainment that is mind, like, just stretch your imagination. And, but this has to be on point. If this was real, they wouldn't kick each other in the face and keep fighting. A drop kick is as unrealistic as anything else we've seen. The burning the house down is actually more realistic.
Outside of Liu Kang. Like, no one's doing that shit.
Like, how many people have you seen in a fight take an outright 2-foot drop kick to the mouth and get up and be like, all right, let's go?
Or even if you do that, you're a dumbass because that's going to hurt you more than it's ever going to hurt them. You're falling from a greater height.
Sorry, Nick. Jacob too. Foaming at the lips. We might get
the grill and everything just makes it like 10 times like scarier. This man was already someone you didn't want to come across in a dark alley or in a bodega or something like that. Now you just got a grill and just randomly walks around doing this. So like he's like a scary Jesus freak of like, you're gonna hurt me and then pray over me after you whoop my ass.
Bring up never mind. I almost made a joke I shouldn't have. Are they chanting for Jacob? Fourth wall killer. I know. Like, let me rain on everyone's parade.
We're the Deadpool of wrestling.
Right, but we're like, fuck, enjoy this, man. Deadpool doesn't exist either. Sorry, fuck it. Like,
no, you don't say that about Deadpool. Deadpool's awesome. Alex is saying Jacob. So are they actually? I think they might actually be chanting for "You are my tribal chief."
And they boom. So the fans start cheering for him a little, and he locks right in to no, you're not going to do that.
No, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do this.
Mm-hmm. But
he is the guy out of this. Like I've said this, and I'm sorry. I know that they are going to do the Roman versus Solo story. Yeah. The match to be had is Jacob versus Roman. That is the match.
Yeah, I agree to an extent, and I think Solo is playing. Jacob is playing the perfect second, playing the perfect bodyguard, the perfect gatekeeper, the perfect protector of the head of the table. Kind of the way they presented Solo for so long. Solo was the one you had to fear, not Roman. Roman had to cheat to win, but Solo was the killer. So it's a tale as old as time, Nick, and I think it's outstanding. But Jacob's got gold in his future, not just in his mouth.
Right. And I get pause on that. And I do get it of he's 100% the perfect second fiddle and everything like that. That's why you even said like the whole idea of him being like a sleeper cell agent or anything like that for Roman's ridiculous. But it's just he's so fucking talented and he's so goddamn good and everything that respectfully, like that's the match in ring wise. And story-wise, like what those two would do in a match, given a prime time spotlight, just shut up and just take my money.
Solo actually pointing out you're trying to get my enforcer to turn on me. But we don't have to wait till next week. But look, we're going to get the tag match now, Nick, because he's going to get assistance. Cody,
as he snaps and all the guard dogs show up.
Oh, yeah, the rest of here they are. There they are. I like it. Let's fucking go. Cody's like, who are you motherfuckers?
Right. Wait, who are...
I don't know, y'all.
Is this where you send that when you unleash the dogs or the bees or the dogs with the bees in their mouth so they shoot bees?
Nice.
Make all this out here.
Nick Aldis pops up and says, unless you want to be suspended, you will back down and sit down now.
This is going to sound weird to say. This has been, though, the most interesting that they've made of 30 figures in WWE in recent memory.
Yeah.
Because they're both different and they both actually hold court. They both, do it. They're both presented well.
Okay. Next week, main event. So you called this, Nick. Good shout.
And it made sense to me. And again, like we talked about earlier, of you extra mid, and I know MDB was saying that mid has a negative connotation, but that's just because of MJF. But you really help you get a ratings bump, and you avoid Cody being an opening match as a champion again, and you do it next week, and you make it a big fucking deal. Yeah,
100%. 100%. So the title match is official for next week. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be here live Friday night SmackDown solo. Cody Rhodes and Mark Briscoe got his ass kicked for about 12 minutes and picks up the win. Attaboy.
Well, that's how Briscoes do. And Terry Funk didn't wear no mouthpiece.
Oh, dude, just when you thought a Friday couldn't get fucked up, here comes the learning tree.
Oh, I'm glad I'm behind you now then. I'll wait until it's, lost all its leaves and everything to get it. Hey, as we've got, I kind of almost like this. Very Mean Girls-ish of, you've got the Yes Boys out there with Tiffany Stratton. So you got Tiffany Stratton and Pretty Deadly backstage. But how many times has Mark Briscoe actually defended the Ring of Honor World title? I think it's all of one, maybe two.
Dude, this is really good. Steel Cage, by the way, Nick. Ironically, Steel Cage next Friday.
Yo, okay. You keep the outsiders out.
Naya's mad at Tiffy.
They thought you were going to come in and cash out on me.
All this for president. Jericho's still on the
He can't run. He's not from this country.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Why is Chris
my
Jericho,
God.
He looks so unkempt. Like, is this, you can tell this shit's taped or whatever because he's so fucking unkempt.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, why are you topless? Like, why are you Uncle Rico on my fucking screen right now?
Well, why does he look like he just got out the shower?
He does. Wet fucking mutt. And they beat up Ishii. They are trying to set up Jericho versus OC. The learning tree versus the conglomeration.
Why shouldn't you be focusing on Brian Keith, who has the potential to fucking actually, win a title and everything in AEW? Right. No, it's because this is all still get Chris Jericho over. Because that's the thing is, again, I lost my shit when Brian Keith got caught up in this, and it's fucked his career since then, honestly.
There comes Bailey.
Oh, she was doing them things standing, though, too, when she debuted last week. But
I'll be there forever and always.
But just as we've got GYV coming out on Collision. But yeah, Brian Keith should be the one getting focused on tonight with Collision. He's getting a challenge to be in a title match and everything like that. Fuck whatever about the learning tree. Fuck Chris Jericho of that. You should be trying to put Brian Keith over. No one's gotten put over in this learning tree gimmick except for Jericho.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have gone to our first commercial break on SmackDown. Bailey versus Tiffy is coming up next. And on Collision, we have GYV taking on the Bear Patrol, Paw Patrol.
Iron Savages.
Iron Savages.
Respect on the Iron Savages' names.
Weren't they Bear Mountain?
They're friends of the channel and everything. That's 100%. So we got to put some respect on the Savages.
Right. Now, Nick, I talked to some people online over the last 24 hours. They're setting up like Taya Valkyrie is taking on. They're trying to set up an angle with her and Mina Shakira. You know who?
Mina Shavir.
No, Mina.
Mina Shirakawa.
Mina Shirakawa. Mina Sheena.
Just go with it. I said it right. You did. Move along.
You got GYV. You got other talent. Like in my head, like even the promo they did on Ring of Honor, like they're doing Mina and Taya on Ring of Honor, and all I could think was, man, this would have been so good on. Like Mina is over. Why is she on Ring of Honor behind a paywall? Why is she not on Dynamite? Dynamite sucked pond water this week. Why are we not using? You brought in GYV, not on Dynamite. You brought in Ricochet, not on Dynamite. You bring in Mina, not on Dynamite. Taya, Deonna. Why is Deonna not? She's going to take an L on Collision.
And even then, you have Mina
Shakira,
who was literally, Mina Shakira. KJ's lips don't lie. But you had Mina Shirakawa, who was literally, they focused on her in the stands during the Mariah May Tony Storm match, and has not been on Dynamite involved at all with anything, especially now that Mariah May is your world champion. They lose the plot within weeks, within days, within hours with shit, and it frustrates the fuck out of me.
A little bit. And again, right now this match is off and running. GYV should definitely win this one. Again, a little surprised that GYV is not fighting the Young Bucks instead of a makeshift, like throwing the BCC, who are trios champions, at the Bucks. Maybe they're trying to like not waste it, but this is my issue.
Yeah.
Is
that
just
would have been a sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like we talked about it last night. We had a graphic with all the tag teams that are not being used.
100%. Well, and I don't know if GYV is officially AEW.
I thought they were.
I haven't seen a graphic. The most I've seen was that they showed up at All In and they, confronted the Bucks, and then they took out FTR. So it would make more sense, like you were saying, to have them versus the Bucks at All Out, and that's a better match. That's a better draw. That's a better. Holy shit, the Bucks could actually lose versus they take on BCC.
Well, why did they show up at All In and get in their face to not follow up on you think they couldn't wait till Wednesday to follow up on that? Like if me and you were the tag going after the tag teams and we showed up on Sunday, we're coming back on Wednesday, our next chance to be like, hi, remember we said we're going to fuck you up? We're going to do it.
Ding dong.
Right? Like ding dong. Did you say ding dong?
Yeah.
GYV, I think, got the win. You can confirm.
I will get there in a minute, as I've got a Planet Fitness ad, which, by the way, is a terrible gym, but that's my own opinion.
Tiffany Stratton for the win. I'm going Bailey. Tiffy for the win. Bailey for the win. You're going Tiffy.
I gotta go Tiffy. I'm conflicted because I'm a sucker for Bailey. Trust me, anytime I'm always the one out there singing, hey, Bailey. But I got to go with Tiffy time here. She needs something. She needs a win. She needs to feel.
She's the Money in the Bank holder. She's good.
Yes, but that's also part of this too, is normally, unless you cash in right away when you win Money in the Bank, you go through with like a losing streak right after you win. You just
kind of like float. Yeah, you kind of float a little.
You get pushed kind of down, so everybody forgets the fuck.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. FTR is here taking out. What? They didn't have a bit. Why?
You're telling me that if this gets, I hope this gets added All Out, and I bet you that's the thing, is that this tag match, if this is on All Out, is going to be better than the tag title match.
That's where I'm worried they won't put it on. It will be like next week on Collision, GYV, because the Bucks will protect themselves at all costs. And ultimately, that is AEW's issue. Man, last night I was watching, I know I'm a wrestling loser, but I was watching it was 3 years since CM Punk's debut match against Darby. As here comes Tiffy. Get your predictions in, folks. But we've watched, I was watching the debut of Adam Cole and Danielson. And you see this arena stacked with people, jam-packed, and the crowd's losing their mind. I remember calling that night live on YouTube, and the energy, and to see where it is now, it bothers me as an AEW fan of like, I know the diehards really love the product, but you have to acknowledge, like, the building used to be full.
It used to be, and everybody's still now. I've seen people that take this whole stance of like, well, as long as I'm still entertaining to me, cool. They can't play to an audience of one.
No. And I put out the graphic today. Like I retweeted somebody else's graphic of like the 4-year history of Grand Slam. Like, the numbers declining. This year, they've only distributed 3,700 tickets. 2 years ago was 11,000.
That's why that's moving overseas.
Yeah, no shit.
They're exporting their goods.
Mm-hmm. But
At
ladies
least
and
when you're gonna
gentlemen,
do like, at least do like back to the tag match. At least if you're gonna do like a fatal 4-way or something, do a 4-way for the belts or something.
yeah.
Throw them in there,
But
make it fucking entertaining.
and again, don't have GYV show up at All In to confront the Bucks if they're going to fight FTR. That
You know,
doesn't
they
make
took
any
out
sense.
FTR at All In too, though.
What's
They
that?
beat them up. Remember, they beat up FTR.
They did beat him up, so I will give you that. That's fair. Okay, I'll give that back.
That's why I think that makes sense with that. But even then, I hope that they put it on All Out. I know that we're always, like 8 to 10 matches is good, but I still, want them to add that match because I want it to show that match is going to be way better than the Bucks versus Claudio and Yuta.
Yeah, it would show. That's where I don't know if they'll put it on the pay-per-view, Nick, because it will. But look, I'll give you this. I'll see if it works. There we go. There's one. That's for you, MDB.
Yeah, he's still in the heart set shit.
Dale, come on, jumping in with a hot take.
Aggressive, Dale.
It's true though.
Yeah, well, we're underway with that right now as we're in a commercial break on Collision, or at least I am. So we've got Bailey versus Tiffany. So if you haven't let us know who you're taking. And they were hyping up on Collision the all-star 8-man tag match. Can they just not call it an 8-man tag match? It's because it's the elites in there and the main eventer, so we got to call it an all-star match.
Well, the issue becomes you did one at All In. You had an all-star match. So if everyone's an all-star, who's not an all-star? Hey, now.
Smash Mouth, that's who.
Yeah, right? Like, if everyone's it's like everyone's a title holder. Who's a champion?
Yeah, a bit, yeah, 100%.
Look, Bailey for the win. All out of attendance. Hilarious.
Oh,
I like that. Again, hit those little reaction buttons, folks. Give us some love. Give us some love.
Well, I haven't looked at the numbers, and I'm not super focused on it, but I know that this has had issues, selling tickets, what have you, and everything this year in Chicago, because this is the 1 year since literally they fired Punk before the last one, and now this is the first one that we know there's no Punk. There's no chance of Punk. Oh, big kick from Tiffany. We're outside on the apron.
Holy shit.
Oh, double stomp to the fucking face.
To the face. Dude, she's a star, man. I don't care what anyone says. And Paul Heyman said it. And this is a debate we will have one day with a lot of people. But Paul Heyman said it, and I agree with him. But he's just like, the WWE's women division is like nothing in the world. The talent is everywhere. They're like the Williams stepping on the tennis court. I thought that was brilliant. And again, hard to argue right now.
Oh, 100%. They've got rounds in the chambers.
Right.
100% with this. If that's the thing, is you're seeing people get upset with the women's division because there's so many talented women and not enough belts and shit to go around for everybody.
Come on, fellas, cut AEW. It's 5 years old, and TK has to learn to. No, he doesn't. What he has to do is put people that know how to do the job. And again, as a person who's watched this product from day one, Gilly, that's what my concern is. Like, I'm watching the numbers dwindle. Again, if you were a rock band and you did the summer tour 2023 and every building you did was sold out, but then you did summer tour 2024 and half of that or a quarter of that showing up, you got a problem as a band. And that's my concern, is the product's not advancing, it's digressing. So yeah, it's 5 years in, but year 5 is worse than year 2. And I want year 6 to be better than year 5.
And I can see both of your points, and I will give Gilly some credit with that and everything. I think the biggest issue is the braggadociousness and everything beforehand and all of that of, sit down, stay humble. It's still the comment that's aged like milk. Again, because Chris Jericho has too as well. They've both gone spoiled. Out there saying, I think in the next 4 months or whatever, and this is like a year or two ago, that we'll be beating Raw on ratings and everything. Acknowledge where the fuck you're at. Quit trying to think you're here. We're growing still as a channel, even with us. We're not out there acting like we're fucking, goddamn Markiplier or something like that.
like
right now we'll be a bit braggadocious, but within reason. We still know we're growing. I'll give them credit that realistically what they've still accomplished is still great. They're still really great to the ecosystem of pro wrestling. We want them to survive.
100%.
We want them to succeed. But just Kendrick Lamar, sit down, be humble.
Yeah. As Brian Keith coming out to the ring to take on Orange Cassidy, ladies and gentlemen, as again, they are setting up, it feels like they're setting up Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. Ugh. And I agree, Gilly. Like, listen, I know some people mistake our frustration for hatred. And Danny Garcia made a comment about hate, but it's not people. Like, people didn't stop buying tickets because they hate out at just pure hatred. Where did the fans go? Like, again, for the diehard AEW fans out there, where did your fans go that you had year 3, year 2? Why are you only selling 3,000 tickets? What is the excuse? I know what the answer is. The answer is poor presentation and bad booking. Because if you look on your screen right now, I got Bailey and Tiffany, who look like absolute superstars, being filmed at a high level, and I got Brian Keith taking on Orange Cassidy. Anybody want to watch what? Who's
Bad Apple?
Right?
Well, and I do find it interesting, real quick, on that they said, well, just on what I saw on my screen, of they actually had it underneath of your commentators, your reporter, your ring announcer, and everything.
Yeah,
like that. They
really
shouted
cool.
Everybody out. That was interesting and unique. Just Joe 47 saying, I hope Khan finally learns not to have 2 pay-per-views all in and all out within 2 weeks of each other. The building's
Well,
shit.
it won't be next year.
Oh, yeah. Well, because they're actually fucking around and moving shit around on the schedule.
All Out's
makes
moving.
Sense.
Yeah, All Out's moving away, and I believe All In's still going to be around Labor Day weekend. That's kind of what they want to do. All In, though, will not be, I think it's earlier in the year. There's a bigger gap. We blacked out. Why did we black out? Did you black out?
I blacked out.
Did someone flip the bird? Did we lose a
nip slip? Maybe a nip slip. Somebody might have Janet Jackson. That would be my only guess, because all I saw was Tiffany rolling out of the ring. So maybe some things was thangin'.
I don't know. Biggest heel in the business right now is the guy that hit the button.
Yeah, boo. But Boston, speaking of biggest heel in the business, Boston saying the excuses are hilarious and the product started off hot and now it's not. That's not a 5-year issue. That's a company issue.
Look. Oh, big suplex.
Big suplex.
By the way, get your predictions in on OC Keith. But here's the thing, and again, everything goes through ebbs and flows. I just want them to correct, and I think you nailed it. It was the braggadociousness, the demo god, the we are better than everybody. Oh, another blackout.
Just for old time's sake, the dude's just figuring everybody's going to be watching with anticipation at Tiffany and Bailey, because how you doing to both women? And so now they're just like, just for old time's sake, we're just going to have darkness imprisoning me.
Right. Humility. I think that's like us. Like you said, like, dude, like year 1, we did a certain number. Year 2, we did better. We're not even in year 3 yet, but we are like that. If we all of a sudden show up and our numbers are declining, we have to look at each other and say, what are we doing as a company that's stopping our fan base from growing? That's my dilemma.
Yeah, it's interesting of being, I guess, small business owners looking at a large business owner of being like, well, if I knew if my numbers were fucked like that, I'd probably not just rely on having money to throw at shit.
Hey, Denim Jacks.
Yeah.
We might see a return of picture-in-picture next week when SmackDown comes back to USA Network. Okay, I'd be okay with that. I don't mind picture-in-picture. I'm really confused when fans are like, this is bullshit. I don't.
Oh shit! Alabama slam 1, 2 count.
A hell of a match, guys.
As I've got Brian Keith getting thrown on a barricade by OC, as I'm getting a replay of that. And
Brian
you
Keith
want to touch on Real first, or because I do think it's a good comment.
WWE is clicking on all cylinders to the point where they have to switch networks. I don't see AEW switching networks. Fair enough.
I don't see them having a network.
Well, I'm a little concerned. And like Tony Khan came out again, another example. Instead of being quiet and just going about business, Tony Khan gets on a media call and says, when we sign the next deal, we'll be the second biggest company in the world. Or like, and you're like, shut up. Keep it to yourself till it's done. Because if you were setting the bar, it's the same thing, Nick, we talked about with the huge announcements or the historic announcements, and they're not. Dude. Wow.
Oh, picture.
Rose plant.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
That was a good match.
It was a good match, and I kind of expected, even though I picked Tiffany, I kind of expected.
It is a top problem. It's a Tiffy top problem, bro.
Well, and so Rio, I'll get back to your comment with this but I saw you sitting there posting out a comment about, it blacks out because sloppy Tiffany keeps falling out of her stupid tops. Yeah, what a start. My guy, you're not about to sit there and try and take a moral high ground about someone fucking wrestling attire over their fucking talent in ring. Like, just respectfully, I respect you, Rio. Like, I actually like that you show up and we have the discourse and everything like that, but you ain't about to do that. Like, that's some bullshit, and I know that's some bullshit.
Right. But big win for Bayley. A hell of a match. And if you can find another company that puts on a quality match like that in the women's division, I'll give you a high five. Straight up, solid match.
100%.
KO reading Gretzky's bio.
Austin Theory representing all ignorant Americans. What's you doing there? Reading about a bunch of losers? Wayne Gretzky, the greatest hockey player of all time. That's like someone from Toronto showed up in Chicago at a Michael Jordan fucking monument. What are you doing? Reading about a bunch of losers? But
he's got an Oiler belt though.
Yeah, how the fuck?
KO, you two are idiots.
Are you gonna get a Maple Leafs belt? Because honestly, that Oilers
the Maple Leafs belt is pretty. It's pretty, man. I'd buy it. I would.
I haven't seen the Maple Leafs one, but this Oilers one is trash. It looks like a fucking stop sign. It looks like a road sign.
Maybe I'll cut myself the same deal I cut you. If the Bills win, you get a Bills belt, and if the Leafs win, I get a Leafs belt.
Fair enough. Fine. We'll both be on the buck for a fucking $500 belt.
No, the channel will be.
Fair enough.
Did you guys see when Orange Cassidy wrestled Su Yung? It was comical. I don't think I've seen Orange Cassidy versus
I have not, but I was going to answer Real's comment about as KO was cutting a whole promo on them, and KO is fantastic. But no, they're switching WWE switching networks because people offer them more money. AEW's hoping to just get some money. I would rather be on the side that's getting more money than some money. And I say that because we've been waiting for this Time Warner Discovery deal for how long now?
I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. And again, if Tony does Tony set himself up for failure if he does get negotiated down and sign a strong deal, but not the deal everyone was talking about, not the deals that the Meltzers of the world.
No, they'll celebrate a deal. At this point, a deal is a deal.
Apollo versus Vichy up next.
Yeah, the good paisan as Jimmy Safon, I think your new name, shout out saying TK needs to step outside and hire people who could really do the job, and he could have some say so.
I think TK is running into the creative control problem, though, Nick. So if you bring someone in, it doesn't matter, because if they say Jericho do this or Bucks do this, that doesn't work for me, brother. And the biggest problem with AEW, as you and I have watched it for every minute from its onset, the biggest problem is the best people are sitting on the bench, and the fucking the third and fourth liners are on the ice trying to fucking win a game, and that's the facts. They are using the wrong people in the wrong places.
I'm waiting for Chris Jericho to come out there like Hulk Hogan saying, I never had creative control and I never used it.
Bullshit.
Right. But Adam saying AEW has achieved all they have because of money, no booking talent, just the ability to hire big names, and people are tired of that, and the numbers reflected. I won't say that's fully true because we just were praising Hangman for multiple great storylines in AEW. They have had some. But they're few and far between, and they rely on more nonsense and spot booking and heat of the moment shit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
What are you over there giggling about?
You. Why the fuck is Jericho on Collision? Why is Jericho on TV? Go later.
Hard cut.
Imagine instead of Hook versus Jericho, they were giving us Hook versus Ricky Starks, or I mean Hook versus Daniel Garcia, two young and up and comers.
My representation from Mr. Tony Khan would like to say I'd love to book Ricky Starks, but unfortunately I just can't seem to do it. I don't know why, but I just can't.
Listen, man, it's true. Fuck.
That's such a fucking stupid argument. Like, how do you say that as a grown adult and not realize that sounds fucking stupid?
Right, it does. But yeah, I think that's where, again, like, and I agree with you. Like, when I first started watching AEW reignited my love for wrestling. I had given up on fucking Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard booking shit to death and murdering the business. It was putrid. It was boring. It was fucking awful. And then Tony Khan came along like a white knight and saved the wrestling world to an extent. And there was a lot of good stuff. Moxley showing up and fucking up Omega at the beginning. Jericho's first title run made sense. Cody, Dustin Rhodes, one of my favorite matches of the last 5, 6, 7 years. That match was amazing. I need my brother.
That's still probably one of the best matches in AEW history.
100%. Then you had MJF, an up-and-comer, and you had CM Punk comes on. There was really good shit. And again, if any AEW fan out there thinks we're making this shit up because we hate the company, it's not that. Go watch the old videos. Go look at what the fans used to be like. Where did they go?
Well, even just on our channel and everything, we used to do the rankings and everything like that, and they would win out every single week. It's a dynasty, and that needs a rebuild, needs a rehashing, needs to fucking, deal with some staffing issues, what have you. And they just don't want to admit it. It's like seeing your favorite sports franchise. When you talked about it with your Leafs and my Bills and everything like that.
Yeah.
Of like, if you keep having, you start to go from like a playoff contending team to now you're an 8-win team to a 7-win team and shit. You start to realize, it ain't us. It ain't perfect. Everybody got really good.
That is a perfect way to put it. As we come back out of commercial break, OC still fighting Brian Keith. And we are getting an advertisement for Big Noon Saturday.
We're getting Texas football versus Michigan. And I just watched, actually, if you haven't seen it, the Netflix Untold series, and this is not a hashtag not sponsored, but no, they have the whole thing about the sign stealing shit from Michigan. And even the missus picked it out, and she's not a sports fan or anything. And it was interesting as hell because I hadn't seen the full stories. We've got Legato with... Oh, we've actually sprung for some new sets. We're moving to a new network, so we've got new sets.
New curtains.
New drapes.
Pause.
Same house, new drapes.
Same hero, new boots.
Right.
I like this.
I hate Escobar's glasses, though. He looks like a bug. He looks like a bug. And does not Los Lotharios, Barto and Garza out here just look like they're waiters? Like, this looks like we're running a really nice, Mexican restaurant.
Sorry, Nick, one of your faves just took an L, and we're back to Jericho. Holy shit! Why? Go away! And he's still wearing the piss yellow jacket, like you said. It's all taped like on like Wednesdays. So, and he looks like a wet dog.
He looks like just a dog that was outside in a rainstorm. Yeah. He let them in and they and that's all they did to dry off. So setting up for All Out, we've got Kazuchika Okada, Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and please, if it is not Konosuke Takeshita, I don't kind of give a fuck about the match outside of just Mark Briscoe.
This match should be Okada.
He looks different than he did earlier. Like, he literally looks different. Yes, so this is so fucking stupid. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. That's it. Chris Jericho is the Troy McClure of pro wrestling. You might remember me from such other wrestling promotions as Calgary Stampede Wrestling, WWE, ECW, WCW.
57% of the people picked Bailey. They were right. As here comes Giovanna Vici. Did they bring back the flash for like the photo op?
Well, no, well, he's coming out right now. We've got all the little sparks and spotlights and everything,
Dude,
and he's looking like a typical kind
I
of
grew up with so many guys
Guido
that rock this
Paisan,
fucking look.
Jersey Shore.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you are the Italian guy that's living
Yeah.
in America because you've
Yeah.
got the fucking Gucci tracksuit. Well,
Bro,
knockoff Gucci tracksuit. You got the
Bro, are
Vinci
you really wearing
tracksuit.
your tracksuit out? Are you really wearing that tracksuit out? We're like, what are you doing? Oh, he's kissing the ladies.
I mean, I cannot confirm nor deny if I might own a tracksuit. I think it just kind of comes with it. It's part of a birthright, especially once you reach a certain age of being an Italian male. It just, you kind of just inherit one. It just gets delivered like the stork delivering babies. It just shows up.
So we got Apollo Crews taking on Giovanni Vinci, and we will take your predictions, but I'm guessing the guy that didn't get the entrance is not going to get the win.
But this still could be a good match because we've seen Apollo Crews get featured with Baron Corbin and all of that. And I do think you need to start developing a mid-card title scene on SmackDown. We've seen it with Andrade and Carmelo. LA Knight's been kind of just still a little bit floundering since he's recently won the belt from
a little quiet.
From Logan. So we need to get that groundswell, that, division around him, like we see with Raw, to where we're getting a fatal four-way for an IC title shot, and it's all heavy hitters in that match. We were literally mad Bronson Reed got taken out of it.
Yeah. A little bit of a cheer for Vinci.
They're just like, I'm glad you didn't get fired too.
And then it turns into booze real quick. Okay.
Right.
Legado del Fantasma.
See, that's all you had to do was take a shirt off, and then that's when you can do the Rick Rude of, I know, if all of you Alberta sweat hogs. No fucking way. No fucking way. Fuck you. Fuck you. You and your Canadian bullshit, your treachery. Literally, he sneaks a 1-2-3 as Giovanni's taken off the fucking tracksuit coat.
He looked like a Pinto. They're calling it out, so.
You're making me want to go and find my goddamn tracksuit just to defend this man. Nick Aldis is dealing with Chelsea Green and Pipe on her Niven.
Chelsea Green's amazing, man. I'm such a fan of this lady. Mia, Yim.
Is that trash I smell?
She's fucking rude. That's where trash goes.
She is like the Santina Morella of women's wrestling. And I say that with the sincerest of a compliment level of never has to be a world champion, but it will still be over for life.
Yeah, 100%. It's gonna be
like she's so fucking good on the mic, and
I can't.
I never have to see her wrestle a day of my life. She's good at it. I'm saying she's good at it, but goddamn, is she good at this shit?
Oh, Michin versus Chelsea or Nivens. Yeah, it looks like it's Chelsea.
I've got Mercedes just.
Yeah.
Why is her tongue blue? Like, are you like a little kid? You just had a fucking lollipop and shit like that? Like, what the fuck? So is this when you take a pause, so you have to go have your match and everything like that?
Yeah, right.
Do I do the pause to prove that you're not, him?
I might actually have to stretch my legs. That's a good shout, actually. As a channel favorite coming out on Collision right now, the Outrunners. Shout out to the Outrunners, big fans. And they are in the ring. And man, again, we talked about them last night. Another tag team that you could make money with.
100% I think that they really need to expand the tag team division like that in AEW. They have a deep one. They just refuse to use any of them. And we're getting a triple threat of Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory versus Grayson Waller.
That's pretty good. I mean, again, because now we're setting up the angle between Theory and Waller will be very interesting. Gilly, what you need to realize about your comment on this one is, and let's see if Netflix, look, the contract is golden. You got to understand, Americans love Monday Night Football. I'm Canadian. I could give two fucks about Monday Night Football. Give me some Monday Night Puck. But, it's going to be in 80 countries. Of those 80 countries, one give a fuck about Monday Night Football the way you guys do. And that's not an anti-American sentiment, Nick, but it's facts. That people in Bangladesh don't give two flying fucks about Monday Night Football. Maybe a handful, but it's not the same. So going to Netflix actually alleviates the Monday Night Football issue.
Folks, we've had it confirmed here now. Both KJ and Anthony have turned heel against me. We've got the Un-Americans now showing up on the channel with KJ. But no, 100%, you're exactly right with that. The Netflix deal is umpteen times bigger than any USA deal, any Fox deal. Like, that is the biggest deal in WWE history. They will be available on more places than they have ever been available before. Yeah. And again, yes, everybody in America really likes Monday Night Football. Gilly, I'm with you there. Trust me, I'm waiting for the Bills to play their game and everything. Anthony, you can have that. I'm exposing the business out here.
Gilly, nothing but love, Gilly. Nothing but love.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, and that's what I love about the whole community that we built. We can just still talk, we can chat it out. Of Christ, Real's still probably poking around in the chat and everything too as well. But there's gonna be some fucker in Taiwan that's not gonna give a flying fuck about the Packers taking on the Eagles in Brazil, and is gonna sit there and be able to watch Monday Night Raw or on Netflix, because that's the only thing he's able to watch anything on too, because you've got all the fucking cable cutters and cord cutters, which we want to talk about ratings going down. So who's the fucker that jumped to streaming first?
Yeah, like for me that doesn't like the fuck with cable. Like literally, I stream 90% of my content is streamed of anything. And the beauty of Netflix is the minute that show ends, you can watch, like, you don't have to seek it out and find it in certain places. You can go watch Raw and fast forward through what you don't want to see. And again, the moving to Netflix is not going to see a number decrease for, Outrunners get the win. Hey,
let's go.
But yeah, I mean, again, and as much as I love football and I enjoy football, again, if you're a wrestling fan, you find the wrestling. And I'm a wrestling fan, so I find the wrestling. I watch other things after. I watch highlights of football because I'm watching wrestling. And that's what Uncle Dave and AEW's got to realize is, I don't care about the dog show. If you put on a good program, your ratings go up. Your ratings stay. But if you go, but there was a debate, I don't give a fuck about the presidential debate. Two liars on a stage arguing over nothing that's ever going to change or matter.
Bold strategy to think that wrestling fans actually watch political debates, by the way, that's really going to affect that fucking number at all. Bold strategy on that day.
Yeah.
But no, 100% do expand it to a gigantic audience, and everybody's got goddamn split screen and all that shit now too.
Yeah, shut up, big dog. Shut up, big dog. Why'd they ring the bell if he didn't have his jacket off? And I can't wait to see the IWC being like, they buried Vinci already. Hold on. That was quick. That's what she said. Pause.
That was quick. Yeah, 100%.
Somebody made a comment that I wanted to click on because it kind of irked me a little. Fair
enough. I don't know.
And then I'm going to take a pause for the cause once I find. Somebody made a comment about Odyssey got fired, but Liv's a pothead and didn't get fired. There's a big difference. And maybe if Odyssey hit the fucking pot a little more, he might have been a little calmer. But at the end of the day, that's not even the realm. And I hope you were joking or tongue in cheek. If that's a legit take, that's a horrible take. Getting caught being high in 2024, it means nothing. Being violent in any way, shape, or form towards another human being is a fireable offense, and it should be. And if it's true, hey, Corey Perry. Speaking of a guy who's had controversy.
Oh, wait, what? Who, what?
On SmackDown, Corey Perry's in the front row.
I didn't notice that. I've got ding ding under the way. So as I've got a cannonball of Kevin Owens, so folks let us know he'd take it. I'm assuming I remember Corey Perry when he played for the Ducks. I'm assuming now he plays for the Oilers.
Mm-hmm. Dude had to
And
get
folks,
shipped.
I believe I was in the final four of our fantasy hockey fucking championship this year and everything. Well, no, I'm pointing out of how I don't remember fucking anybody who's on any team.
You finished second, didn't you?
Either way, you're making it worse because I'm pointing out of how I don't know who current hockey players are. But I somehow managed to fucking fumble my way into that.
Corey Perry, famous for getting traded because he couldn't keep his hands off the young superstar's mom. Oops.
Yeah. Oh, so he's Zach Wilson. He's
Tables. We're going ham already. I was going to pause, but I might not.
Well, there you go.
We talk too goddamn much. Kevin Owens for the win. Through a table. KO for the win.
That chest tattoo on Statlander looks weird. I mean, you do you, boo-boo.
Oh, my God. Waller through the table. KO beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, right, just everybody. Yeah, we're going to commercial. So if you're going to pause, yeah. There we go. As KJ's taking a pause for the cause, folks, as I've got a commercial break on Friday Night Smackdown as Kevin Owens, not KJ, but could be KJ. Maybe that's why he's having to take a pause. Is just laying waste to everybody as we're getting the backstage segment between Renee Moxley Good and Willow and Statlander. But I will remind that the crowd goes wild. Grace in the punching bag. Well, he's the heel and he's the chicken shit heel. Now, the thing is, too, of if Austin Theory turns and becomes a baby face, is he really actually at that point a baby face, or is he just like a mid-tier heel still? Because no one's really like sympathetic to Austin Theory, I would say. As I've got Konosuke Takeshita coming out right now. Excuse me. And why has he not been a foundation, a founding block, a constantly used guy on AEW television? He is up there with your Swerves, your Adam Pages, all of that, of a guy that you could say is homegrown enough and everything, and could be in that contention for a world title shot. The guy's got the fucking image. The guy's got the fucking size, the talent, everything. But instead, he's just lost in the abyss. He's out there in the mist. I'm hoping he wins, and I'm honestly hoping he beats Okada. And honestly, just still would get a one-off match between Takeshita and Okada would still be really interesting to me. I'm kind of oddly getting to the point to where Okada matches I'm not as compelled about as I used to be. Christ, anytime Okada was in New Japan, I go and watch it or catch what I could. But now with him in AEW, I mean, maybe the closest that I've gotten to that is him versus Claudio recently. But him versus Takeshita, I think, could be really good, as we're getting Takeshita versus formerly known as Black Taurus. I don't know his collision name at this point, but he still has one of the funniest pin attempts to me of all time. Of literally just, I crossed his legs and I sat on him. So I'm pinning him, right? You're lagging, going on, watching chat, but I'm at home. Mega, hi. What am I? Is anyone else trying to say I'm lagging, or I'm in a commercial on SmackDown? I know I'm probably behind most of Canada on, Collision, what have you, but we're back in action on the triple threat of Kevin Owens, Austin Theory, and Grayson Waller here. Big Dog, what up? TJ, what up? I see the line of saying in my head. Why is the bull dude crossed at MDB? I don't know. He's got a little, I don't know if it's the mask or his actual eyes, but it's a little derper up. Please make him stop booking squash matches. Who, sir? Your connection seems stable now. Fair enough. I didn't know. If I was lagging, I do apologize. But fair enough. And good on you, Mega, I guess. But right now, Takeshita in control, just cutting a promo on a fucking camera after we get a Giant fucking senton over the top rope here. Oh, Cody's saying about TK. Fair enough. Well, I mean, I can't tell man how to book. Christ, if I could, I would. As we've got right now, Kevin Owens just throwing handbags and throwing sandbags at Austin Theory as Takeshita's just controlling Black Taurus on the outside here. But as both matches are going on and KJ's on a pause for the cause, I will remind everybody we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. Trust me, it's not a gimmick. It's not a catchphrase. We put our time and effort into doing all of this, of watching anything and everything, paying attention and watching live as much wrestling as we literally can. We're going to be back at it tomorrow, 100% for All Out. And I'm honestly, I'm almost more excited for All Out because I'm really excited for a couple matches versus just more of the whole spectacle of All In. But we're going to be back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow for All Out. And then again, we roll through. It's USA week. It's season premiere. We're rolling into the fall season. We're getting closer and closer to my birthday, just saying. But we've got Monday Night Raw. We've got the Wyatt Six in a multi-man tag match. We've got Bret Hart showing up. We've got Jordan Grace showing up on NXT for an open challenge. We've got Wednesday Night Dynamite, which will be the fallout from everything that happens at All Out and God knows what's going to happen between, Hangman and Swerve. And then Thursday, I believe we're doing Let's Rumble. If it's not the Let's Rumble, it's Wrestling Court, or we still got plenty of tricks up our sleeves. We still got things cooking on the back burner, frying in the kitchen, if you catch my drift. That will be popping up. And then Friday Night Smackdown, we already know we're going to get Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa defending the World Heavyweight title in a cage match. So absolutely. Again, nobody covers wrestling like we do. You don't have more fun watching wrestling than with anybody else than us. We're the wrestling buddies you can't get in your real life. And we're the alternative commentary you need in your life. Often imitated, never replicated, never duplicated. We do what we do because they can't do what we do. So that's why we do what we do. Yes, as I'm literally getting a double. I'm in synchronicity on my screen almost. I am getting double. I was going to get double superplex spots I get Takeshita with a superplex on Taurus, and I get Kevin Owens fighting out of a double superplex from Theory and Waller here. Crowd into this. Oh boy. Who wants to see the 2004 stage reboot? What the Christian? Okay. Rolling senton from KL. 1, 2. Waller breaks up the count here. Once we get over top cup of haters. Yeah, we got cup of haters. As I'm getting like an explode out suplex there from Kevin Owens off the top rope for a 2 count as I'm in picture in picture. And speaking of pictures and pictures.
Pictures and pictures and pictures. What a match. What a match, Nick.
100%.
What an outstanding match.
And they've really done it well. They haven't leaned into, you haven't had that real spot between Theory and Waller yet of, no, I'm going to go for the pin. No, I'm going for the pin. You still had them pretty much work as a team, but Kevin Owens has managed to pick his spots, what have you, that he's almost been in control most of the match.
Yeah. That's it. Like, he's like, you guys are a couple idiots, and I'm going to beat both of you up. And
right.
So far, roll. Stunner!
That man rock sold that stunner, and then just
and it's over.
Folded like a fucking handbag there.
Yeah, Corey Perry again. Oh, Waller in.
I bet you that'll be the last time we see Corey Perry in those seats, though, too.
Jump over the guardrail to beat up Waller?
Oh, no, I'm just saying, I think he was just there to show up, clap, and leave.
Right, maybe.
Yeah, so right now, Theory and Waller both taking out KO as I've got picture in picture on Collision. I don't know if I'm close or near or far. I was told I was lagging and then wasn't lagging and so on. So
I'll tell you what. Yeah,
tell me what. I'm asking you what.
I'm going to bring it back up. I closed Collision for a moment. I did. I feel bad, but
I've got Graves and Cole right now talking on commentary with a table with no lid, with no top.
Right.
So we're bigging up the whole kind of trilogy, the little mini feud that we've had between Andrade and Carmelo here.
I feel like whoever comes out of this goes after the U.S. title.
Has to be.
It's been great.
Or do they do something to where like they do like the bar of like, well, we have such good, chemistry in the ring. Why don't we team together? Bullshit.
Oh no, I don't think so. I hope not. We've been there.
Yeah. But it's weird because you need an actual division. Like it'd be nice to know, like, say, if it's Carmelo that goes after LA Knight, that Andrade is going to have someone that he could actually work with. And I don't know if that's the case currently.
Yeah. And I mean, you see KO and Waller and Austin Theory, and they're having this hell of a match. And I look to my right at my other screen, and I got Takeshita fighting a guy with, Mortis with a fucking headpiece on.
A member of GWAR.
It just doesn't, like, again, that's where you're kind of missing. Like, if you're AEW, you want stars. And you got guys sitting on the bench, and Mortis is getting more airtime than a lot of them. And the Rocketeer is in the house.
Yes. And that's a hell of a shirt. I've seen that picture. And the fact that he's wearing that of its LA Knight leading the fucking USA across the fucking river like George Washington and all of that. But
did you see him kind of poking at a Hawk Tui girl?
No, I have not seen that.
She's got a new show now because apparently you don't have to do anything to get famous in 2024. So now
we've been doing this thing called trying.
Yeah. Dude,
apparently the way to do it is not trying.
If you had just Hawk Tui 2 years ago, we would have been there.
Hawk Tui. Fucking Iron Sheik was Hawk Tui everywhere.
I know, right? Yeah, she's coming out with a show called Hawk Tui Talk. Like, come on.
Talk, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Like, holy shit.
If that isn't like Dr. Ruth sex talk, that I don't need to watch it.
Well, I mean, I'd rather watch Dr. Ruth. At least she was.
Well, yeah, but unless she's talking about that or the Dolphins quarterback with, Tua Tagovailoa, then we don't need to know about nothing. But
ladies and gentlemen, I will remind everybody we are back tomorrow. And that's a lie, not 7:30. We are live at 6:30. Son of a bitch. We are live at 6:30 tomorrow, all out. Plus
7:30 Central Time.
Yes. Make sure you join us for all the action. We will be here live nice and early, even earlier than I projected, apparently. But ladies and gentlemen, we do also have the F Meltzer t-shirts supporting a good cause. All funds go directly to the North American World Literacy Foundation. So make sure you get yours today. Support two causes, the anti-Uncle Dave cause and the better reading cause for everybody.
Yeah, you put that Tua on that cause. You put that Tua on that cause.
So let's help the world make smart people, not Hawk Tui people.
Facts, 100%. And I was just going to say, that was all fucking hilarious. I do like the video package that WWE did of showing how this is a 2-2 feud right now, of literally going through and just showing bits and pieces and highlights of like, hey, this has been essentially a best of 7, but you know how they make it interesting? They didn't have to say it's a best of 7.
No, it's just an ongoing rivalry. And that's where you get it. And I think in all sports, you as a sports fan tune into every game of the team you love, but you really tune in for those rivalry games, the teams you hate, the Buffalo KCs, the fucking, Leafs Montreal. Those are the games we live for.
Right, and for all the in honor of all the Buffalo Bills fans that watched the KC game and everything with Xavier Worthy just going off and everything, we're sorry. We're sorry. We wanted him to. I don't know what we were doing, but at least maybe hopefully we can keep a toe in the end zone and everything that. Sorry, Ravens fans, but yeah.
Right. I will also remind everybody out there, we will be back on Monday for Raw. Huge show, season premiere from Calgary. Bret Hart will be there. The Wyatt Six, American made in a street fight, and also a fatal four-way for the IC title. I believe they announced the women's tag match as well. That show is stacked. Tuesday, we're going into it. The fallout from All Out will be on Wednesday, and we got so much more coming your way. We're working on new shows, new concepts, new interviews, new fun, new stuff. We got all types coming your way, folks. So make sure you get in here. Be a friend. Tell a friend. We're only at about 80. I want to see triple digits. I'm hoping people just went to the bathroom.
Yeah, they went to the loo, all of that, and still 100% we're grinding, moving that way closer and ever closer to the 6K subscribers here. So 100%, I think right now we're at 5.63, hopefully 5.64, all of that.
Yeah. As I got Soraya and Harley Cameron. I think we're going to get Soraya, Jamie.
Takeshita won. That's all I'm happy about. Sorry, I'm that behind you that I'm now like, we're showing the Takeshita video.
Yes, Takeshita gets the win. So he is now the fourth person in the Fatal 4-Way for Okada's Continental title.
And should hopefully win. I mentioned this while you were on a pause because this is when he came out and this whole match kicked off and everything. As yes, Soraya and Harley Cameron looking lusty and busty as ever. Have they misused Takeshita to the point to like he right now should be one of their prominent guys and one of their top guys, and now instead he's just once in a blue moon.
That's where we talk about like as a true fan of wrestling and guys, we watch, and guys, we don't have to tell you this. We watch all the wrestling. We even watch, the muddiest of mud shows. We have a lot of fun watching wrestling. We are diehard wrestling fans. We want all the wrestling to achieve well. But when I see a guy like Takeshita and I'm like hoping he goes well and I'm hoping he gets a push and I'm watching other people pushed instead of him, as we are going back to October 4th with The Rock.
So we're starting off Friday Night Smackdown when it started off on Fox, and notice how no one got blurred out and blacked out or anything like that.
Okay, I see what they're doing. This is really cool, Nick.
This is the history and the lineage of, Smackdown on Fox and all the big moments as I'm in commercial and Collision as upcoming next. We're going to get Deonna Purrazzo in action, and I'm going to take a pause for the cause.
Sure. Absolutely. As Nick is going to stretch his legs, ladies and gentlemen, the show rolls on. Like I said, there's more to come, more to get into. We still have a Rampage to cover tonight, but this is really cool and a nice little homage. They're not just leaving Fox or saying goodbye. This little 5-year package, KO and Sammy hugging it out, The Rock, still one of my favorite sound bites ever from Paul Heyman, mocking John Cena, Heyman going through the table, Jay, like this is out. I like this a lot. But 5 years on Fox comes to an end tonight, and a new time begins for the WWE. As here comes LA Knight. And right now I got Collision on commercial break. For anybody curious, we are watching 2 shows at the same time. God, no, don't remind us of the terrible Fox era. They showed good stuff. The Bailey turn, the, Paul Heyman going through a table. It wasn't all bad. How is Jeff Jarrett not competing for a spot? This stupid company, Keyshawn. Why did Jeff Jarrett never get a match with Adam Page? That's my question. Where was that? Why did you build that up and then not deliver it? A lot of big moments on Fox. Yeah, again, some people will kind of foo-foo. Some of the days weren't the best. Especially, as the late Vince McMahon era, as I like to call it, where it felt like Vince and crew were just mailing it in. They were like, we don't give a fuck. We have no competition. We don't care. We're just cashing checks. I'm almost dead. I'm just trying to bank out. and play with interns until I'm done. Yeah. So there are some stuff in there. None of it's Fox's fault at the end of the day. But again, there was a lot of big moments over the last 5 years. We can't act like there wasn't anything. And again, still to this day, that do still one of the best things ever. As LA Knight in the ring. They aren't even showing the Thunderdome. Well, you could understand why. The memories of bad times. I got Mariah May on my screen on Collision. Big moments in SmackDown on Fox. One big moment of black. Yeah, a whole lot of blacking out, though. But I feel like that's just been a recent thing. That hasn't been like, they weren't doing that 5 years ago, blacking everything out. Yeah. I saw big things in Giovanni, but if they still plan for a push, then I got to say this is a different way of doing it. Have faith, Lisa. I get it. I think a lot of people are going to go, oh, look, they fucked it up already. I think there's hope there. I didn't love it. Like, why would the ref call for the bell if he wasn't ready yet? Kind of got jobbed. He's going to want to come back. Yeah, I agree. It wasn't my favorite debut, but it really wasn't. I mean, it wasn't even my favorite re-debut. It wasn't the best of choice. As I got Sheeta entering the ring, I mean, they only showed the stuff that mattered. That's what you should do in a highlight package, though, Misfit. Right? Show the good stuff. And it wasn't the longest of clips. KJ, what do you think of Knight's new theme? Is it new? Oh, Carmelo Hayes coming out to talk to LA Knight. If anyone seriously couldn't tell, Da Vinci was going to be set up. Rewatch the last 20 years of Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, yes and no. I think that we've had some really good moments with Triple H introducing people, bringing back people, making them relevant. There's a reason they did it. That's my only hope. I don't love it, but we'll see where they go. SmackDown hasn't done 25-year anniversary episode at all for some reason. I don't know how to answer that one. Why did Jeff Jarrett never return your phone calls, Keyshawn? Facts. So Carmelo saying I'm up 2 straight on Andrade, and he wants the championship. Who can forget the Thunderdome? Yeah, shit. We can all try. That was a hard watch. Mania. No, it was. I feel bad. Why aren't we getting Claudio Okada Part 2? Kyle, we talked about this during the preview show. The Fatal 4-Way made no sense. You had an opportunity to run Claudio back. Instead, you gave him trios titles and put him in a tag match. Now, again, let's pretend I didn't tell you what company did it. And if you're a diehard AEW fan, a diehard WWE fan, doesn't matter. As here comes Andrade. Maybe they're setting up a triple threat? El Idolo. But if I told you they took a wrestler, had a 20-minute time limit draw with a champion, a singles champion, a couple weeks later, never followed up, then they gave that same competitor a trios title and then made them number 1 contenders for tag titles, none of that makes sense. Why is the trios not being defended as trios, the tag defended as tag, and like separate it all? Why is the TNT title champion going after the world champion? Why are the trios champions going after the tag champions? Why can't we separate this shit? Tony Khan keeps telling me I have so much talent. That's funny. You're only using a handful of it. It doesn't make sense. Claudio Okada Part 2, we needed it. Adam Page, Jarrett would have been nice. Danielson, Jack Perry made not a lot of sense. Why isn't Jack Perry and Garcia feuding? If you love Garcia and Jack Perry so much, 2 guys about the same size, but instead you got Danny going after MJF. Feels like a lopsided battle, even though Garcia's going to win. You heard me. And Jack Perry, I mean, against Danielson, runes. Like, I think the match is going to turn out well, but on paper, when you're marketing the thing, not a lot of people are going to run out and buy tickets to, oh my God, Jack Perry is wrestling Danielson. You see my problem? And again, if you ignore who made the booking decision, if I had just told you that story about Claudio, and you didn't know what company I was talking about, how would you feel about the storytelling? How would you feel about the continuity? Realistically, how would it resonate with you? Just on paper, it doesn't sound proper. Wait, he won the tag titles, or he won the trios titles, but he's in a tag match at the next pay-per-view? But why? Friendship bracelet era. There you go. Kinda. Right? SmackDown was named after The Rock's original finisher, laying the smack. Oh, 100%. When they came with SmackDown, it was 100% on based on The Rock. That's why he called it his show. That, the good old big fist days. That's why we got a big fist in our logo. Oh, wait a minute. Andrade pushes Carmelo into LA, but I think Andrade's about to eat a BFT. There it is. So we're setting it up. LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade are all mad at each other. Now Carmelo's talking shit. I think he's going to eat a BFT. Oh no, LA's leaving. MDB, I don't know what that means. I'm not going to. There it is. Carmelo Hayes eating a BFT. LA Knight standing tall. I love it. And if anyone's curious, Deonna Purrazzo, one of my absolute favorite women in all of wrestling, taking on Shida, who I'm a big fan of. This woman is miles ahead of Sasha Banks. And going back to my previous conversation, if you were pushing Shida and you give her the gimmick that you were giving her, that Yakuza feel to her, that boss feel to her, fans will get behind her. Nobody cares about Sasha. They're not booing her. They're not cheering her. You wasted your money. Uh-oh. Waller. Okay, so Waller and Theory are proposing that next week it will be Waller and Theory versus KO and a friend of his choosing. Who will it be? Who? Could Sammy show up? But here comes Chelsea and Piper. Mariah May kind of looks. I wasn't going to click on that one. I don't know. I don't get it. Yo! BFT, blunt force trauma. That is the name of the finisher. They both got it. Good segment for SmackDown. I agree. SmackDown I've enjoyed tonight. We've been a little hard on SmackDown lately. I actually I like this show. I like the pacing of tonight's show, and I'm kind of into a lot, and I think the matches have been good. I thought that triple threat with Waller, Theory, and KO cooked. Right now, we go to commercial break. Chelsea Green coming up, taking on Mission, and Deonna Purrazzo right now is in control of Hikaru Shida. They both got BFT. Yeah, that's a mouthful. The BFT sounds like a sandwich. Yeah, I'll take a BFT with a side of fries. Let's go. What would a BFT be? The U.S. title means a lot more on LA Knight than it 100% misfit. It will always mean more on a regular competing wrestler. Logan Paul served his purpose. I have no problem with Logan Paul's reign, but now the belt feels more a part of the show. You saw what Gunther did with the IC title and a solid IC title run on Raw. They need that. They need LA Knight to have a solid run, have good challengers. Logan Paul was more about the pop and circumstance than the actual quality, though he performed well in the ring. I don't want to take that away from him, but I don't think that I don't think it ever works out well when you kind of know what's happening, or it's not prevalent on the show. It doesn't have that presence. Then you kind of lose it. Chelsea Green, 100%, guys. Follow Chelsea Green on X. I highly recommend it. Nicholas, LOL, hilarious. They added Samantha's. Yeah, they did. They had done that a little bit ago. I think that's a really good touch. And it makes sense. It works so well. Remember, originally they told her to tone it down, and Chelsea was the one who was like, Secret partner. Get the Joe Henry rumor started. I like it. I was thinking Sammy, to be honest. But let's start let's go. Blunt force trauma. Poof. I like that. But that's what it is. Bacon fried turkey. Sounds fucking delicious, actually. I'm in. Hook me up, MDB. 2 count from Deonna Purrazzo and Shida. Good match between these ladies. And again, you see like Deonna, Shida, and you're like, fuck, man, I wish we could have more of that. Same thing I said about Mina and Taya. I want more. Why are they behind a paywall? They're talented. Why are you booking, no offense, but why am I watching Nyla Rose on Dynamite? Why is Nyla Rose not on Ring of Honor and any one of the names I just listed before hers on Dynamite instead? Would that not boost the quality of the show? But here comes Mission. I don't know. It's a weird name. No offense, and I know it means something to her. Mia Yim was better. Mission. I don't even know how to. Yeah, it's not good. I like Green WWE theme song. There you go. Speaking of Mission.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of not good. But yes, how you doing?
Yeah, that sounds fire, right? The BFT is bacon fried turkey sandwich.
I mean, I'm all the way for it. I'm a fat ass as fuck. 100%.
Yeah, all the trigger words for my stomach of just bacon, fried, and turkey. I'm in.
Yeah, so folks, whenever we do our first ever live show, we're gonna be selling, bacon fried turkey.
It could be John Cena. Holy shit! So Waller and Theory will challenge KO and a surprise partner next week on SmackDown. As they're stacking these premieres. Somebody said Joe Hendry. I said Sammy. Someone else said shit. I don't know. Maybe
they all seem to fit. They all make sense here because again, if they're gonna stack it, if we're gonna have Cody Rhodes defending his world title in a steel cage versus Solo Sikoa, and 100%. You now, granted, if you throw in a Cena, is that overshadowing Cody a bit?
No, you're just stacking up. So what?
No. Hear me out.
I don't get that.
Well, no, I'm saying that almost ends the show. That's the biggest moment I would feel of the show of
not if you're world champion in a cage match. So what? John Cena comes and goes. The
only way it does you end it better is if Roman comes out.
I honestly believe that Roman's going to be involved, but it's still the fact that your world title is going to get defended in a steel cage. That's going to be your main event.
But with or without believe that he's going to lose. You could put this man and he's got to jump what
if he did?
Tank of sharks and barbed wire and everything else, and you still don't believe he's going to lose.
But the champs should be favorites. Think of it in the idea of sports, right? There's a favorite for a reason. Cody's a favorite. If he loses, it should be a
favorite, though. Should be
what?
That favorite.
Where
it's what anyone taking Solo?
Some people might. And the point is, Nick, on the night that you don't expect it, if it happens, it's a shock. And that's how it's supposed to be. So Cody in a steel cage against Solo, I know where it's heading and I know what they're building for it. But at the end of the day, man, I have no problem with this. I think in the moment, I can't fault them for future.
I don't have a problem with that. I was more of saying I think it might get overshadowed if you have Cena. Joe Hendry, I'd almost more be fine with Joe. Just more silly. Likely John Cena is that's a big fucking moment.
Yeah, but that's silly because John
he's on his retirement tour.
No, but at the end of the day, and I actually don't believe it's going to be Cena until 2025. But you're going to bring Cena back. You're bringing The Rock back. You can't do this whole we're afraid. No, you got to place everybody. You got to do the job. And the only other choice is don't bring them back. If they're going to no matter who's on the show.
One in the
Sheena wins.
Yes, but what in the fuck is this segment with her and Mercedes? Mercedes goes for a code breaker and just, I don't know if she botched it, she didn't know sold it. What the fuck was that?
Yeah. Nick, I talked about this a lot on Wednesday, and I'm talking about it now. They don't know how to get heat for the heels. Sheeta should have got her ass kicked. Sheeta should have got it. You have Camille. Why is Camille not fucking
Because
up
you have to
everybody?
make the babyface look strong because laws of wrestling show she will lose at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's not, but they did the same thing going into the last pay-per-view with Mercedes, and you brought in this absolute mammoth of a fucking woman who's a badass. She looks amazing, and she spends all of her time running away like a fucking chicken shit. It's the same thing that happened with the Bucks on Wednesday. Oh, Senton on the outside.
As Piper misses, I thought she missed him, but she hits Mission. I don't know how I got misconstrued if that was Chelsea on the outside, but vitamins are plentiful. Now, should we do
Chelsea?
Hey! But should we do an alternate version of our, literacy shirt and just do FDM, like how they have FTR with the Chicago colors?
Right.
I missed what the FTR was saying. I assume that was them announcing that they're taking on Grizzly Young Vets at some point. I don't know when. But coming up, I assume next, because we're mentioning it now, the 8-man tag match. We've got a half hour left of SmackDown. That should take up the whole time.
Yeah. Well, entrances alone are going to take 10 minutes. Again, tonight's gone fast for SmackDown. And I said this while you were on your break. We've been a little critical of SmackDown. SmackDown's cooked tonight. SmackDown's been good. The in-ring product's been good. The angles have been good. What just happened with LA Knight's been good. That triple threat with KO cooked. Bailey and Tiffany was the match of the night so far in my books. They cooked. SmackDown has been really, really good tonight.
Is it interesting that it's the last show that's on Fox? I know when I took my pause, they started their whole video package and everything like that. But rather than just kind of phone it in, of sending in, that they've actually had one of their probably better recent SmackDowns on like the last night.
Well, know what the trick is, and it's almost like when you're on the verge of a breakup, and when the person starts like going to the gym again and start doing their hair again, they're getting ready for the next one. That's what this is.
Oh yeah,
they're getting ready up for the next one.
That's shit. We're setting up for. Literally, we were arguing over, could it be John Cena or Joe Hendry that shows up next week on USA Network that might overshadow the world title cage match next week on USA Network. So we're literally already out here talking about, I can't wait to see when Joe's out there with Jill and everything like that and see how good they look as a couple. Meanwhile, Joe's still sitting next to Samantha and shit like that. Of like, I'm here too, fucker.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Collision is on commercial. SmackDown is getting ready for the main event. I imagine Collision's got to be close to it. I'm not sure what else we haven't got yet on Collision. Maybe Jimmy comes back next week for Solo. We're waiting. We're eagerly anticipating. And if the way it feels right now, Nick, Roman could be there. Jimmy could be there. Next week could be huge. Feels like they want to make a statement.
100%. I know just across the board, USA week is next week. This is more statement week. This is, season debut. Christ, we even have it on our thumbnail because Raw is pitching it as their season debut and everything like that. CE, no. CE needs to go. But it's very much of this whole next week is going to be, dare I say, a watershed moment for WWE.
He told you, Nick. Sorry, Nick.
Oh, fucker. Sorry, I think I might have just set the record for most swear words consecutively on the channel. But boo!
Wait, I have a button for that, I think. I never use it. There you go. To me, this is an example of the people in power and the people closest.
They are
the peepuses that are pulling the strings. That match could have slid into All Out, no problem. But like you and I said, It's going to overshadow the Bucks match. And again, either one of these teams could be challenging for the title. But no, we'll save it for not even Wednesday. Not Wednesday. Not Dynamite. That sucks.
Saturday.
We're going to send it to next Saturday where we relegate people. That is
a week from now. Well, speaking of Peepus, though, we do have the Acclaimed on screen.
Yes.
With Caster cutting a shit rap with his Letterman jacket that says best wrestler ever.
Right.
Uh-oh. MXM there. Mace and Mansoor.
Right. Mansour.
Yeah, and Mace. This honestly, if it wasn't going to be TNA and they weren't going to be over the top with it, this is the best place that these two could have ended up. They weren't going to work in WWE. Wasn't going to happen. Yeah. They're talented as shit. It just wasn't the time or place was not going to work. Them in AEW, they're another one that you add to the fold of tag teams that could challenge for belts that won't, unfortunately.
When the top people in a company, when you're not in an environment that encourages advancement, when you are not in a position, and any company, I don't care if you're the fry guy at McDonald's, if you're in a place that doesn't encourage you to get better, if someone's holding you back from being the top fry guy, then you got a problem. And it's no different than sports, Nick, of if your best players are sitting on the bench and the coach's kid is out on the ice, you got a fucking problem. And that's how it happens. And the favoritism and nepotism is why the buildings are empty. The favoritism and nepotism is why the merchandise isn't selling. The favoritism and nepotism is why the booking sucks. And it's why when they bring in new talent, they don't push them to the top because they don't want to hurt feelings. Fragile fucking feelings. There's too many fragile egos and fragile wrestlers that hold Tony Khan's hand. There's too many fragile fucks that have a say in AEW, and they're ruining a product and ruining a company that I love because they can't get out of the way. They did it to FTR when they first got there. They've done it again. And now FTR and Grizzled Young Vets, who that match on Collision is going to be miles better than Bucks versus fucking BCC, or 2/3 of what was the BCC. Now it's the Bastard Combat Club, apparently, and Moxley's gone. But that is the biggest problem with AEW that nobody wants to admit. And guys out there like Drainmaker and shit like that just spew fucking AEW gospel and don't pay attention, the buildings are empty because people don't give a fuck about the Bucks. The buildings are empty because people don't care about Jericho. We want to see the talent. And if you're the best, you should get booked like the best. Period. Sorry.
No, 100%. I was literally just keep going. Just preach, Father. Preach, brother KJ. Oh, my brother, testify. 100. We haven't seen Stoner Jesus, but so we'll
where is Stoner Jesus?
Testify.
He's high on the couch.
And that's the thing is though too is that the match, the better match will get a quarter of the views because of where they placed it. But the $1 million question is, how do you fix it?
Yeah. Sorry. Say that. Sorry.
The $1 million question. Trust me, Tony's probably hard of hearing on this too. Of how do you fix it? Because that's the thing. Is how do you actually go about? And I know we all say of I do this and I'll do that, but that's not the landscape. How do you fix this?
Listen, the hope is, and I said this a lot on Wednesday, Nick, Tony Khan, take the earphones off and listen to the crowd. When you hear the crowd going crazy for Sheeta and not making a murmur for the lady that you gave a fucking truck, you backed the dump truck up for fucking just unloaded the money, that's where you're fucking up as a boss. Your job as the boss, your job as the captain is put your best foot forward. Lead. And if you got to take your heart out of your chest and stick it in a fucking drawer and make decisions with your fucking brain, then do it. But be willing. And if you're not willing to do it, don't do what you're doing and then tell me, well, this product is amazing. This product is great. No, it's not nearly as good as it could be. And I got your product up against the other product on the same night, and that product is murdering you. You are getting buried by superstars because the superstars feel like superstars. Here, the people that feel like that are booked like superstars are your fucking second-rate talent. Fragile egos are fucking killing AEW.
And they're killing watch parties too as well, because I feel like we could take all of that and just go to spread that beyond that. But I literally just, you have said and summed up everything. You put a nice little bow on everything, 100%. Now, granted, I still like to throw out the fan theory idea that the Jack Perry Bryan Danielson match makes sense, not because of he's the last person to pin Bryan Danielson, but because he was suspended by a disciplinary committee that was headed by Bryan Danielson. So now I'm getting back my pound of flesh. And that's the thing, is that's probably a better idea than they ever thought of.
Mm-hmm. But you know what, though? Like I said last night in our preview, that match will be good. Bryan will get the best out of Jack Perry. The problem is, if you're trying to market a pay-per-view and sell tickets for it, Danielson against any other fucking, like, there's a list of names that are more attractive than Jack fucking Perry. And that's the mistake they're making. They're booking for themselves. They're booking for the sickos. And the sickos are such a small pocket. And you see it, 600,000. When does it get to 500,000? At what point do you wake up and go, man, it really sucks performing in front of 1,900 people. It sucks when you sign Ricochet and bury him within 2 weeks. What the fuck are we doing?
Smaller pocket, sickos or juggalos? Which fan base we want to piss off?
Juggalos had 2 decades to work on their pocket.
Well, one's been recognized as a gang, the other might start to get recognized as a gang sooner. They're at least recognized as toxic.
Yeah. I'm told that there are a few key figures within creative that absolutely hated the direction on the Giovanni Vinci angle tonight. WrestleVotes is full of shit.
Yes.
Facts. They don't know that.
Well, that's why the Saturday night main event thing that we talked about earlier, I didn't fully believe, because it came from WrestleVotes.
Yeah.
They just talk out their ass on shit.
No, they're not in the room. They don't have access to fucking key figures. They're full of shit, misfit, and they wouldn't know it that fast. We didn't like that angle. It doesn't take a genius to go, maybe you shouldn't have rolled them up. We'll see what they do next week. We'll see what they do the week after. I don't know. I didn't love it.
I will honestly say I didn't hate it, because honestly, I'll put it this way, and this is an interesting take. I'll even say on this is we've got the 8-man tag match going on right now as SmackDown's in the commercial. At least it made you pay attention to it, because honestly, Giovanni Vinci versus Apollo Crews, to us, to guys who watch wrestling all the time, to everybody that's watching us and everything, we're paying attention. Say it with your chest, kid. Yeah. Say it with your chest.
Is that a drink or something? Can I get a muffin back?
Peel somebody muffin back.
Well played, lady.
Where's lady? You got to start. Click on lady again real quick.
There you go.
You got to start. But you got a muffin.
There you go. 104 likes.
But 100% to me of now I fucking entirely forgot what
my apologies. I fucked up your lazy Susan.
No, don't worry. 100%. I said what I said. We move along.
As you think about it, we have our all-star tag match going on. So it's funny. We got an 8-man tag on both shows at the same time. And if you look at the screen, if I put those screens side by side, man, there's no Yuta in this match. There's no Young Bucks in this match. There is nothing but people that look like absolute stars on one screen, and then a bunch of fucking ragtag muffins on the other screen.
Valid, and I do at least still there is still that part of me that's like they're trying to be the alternative, but they do a very terrible job of presentation. Like they're WCW, but not without like the Kevin Nashes and the Scott Halls and the Hollywood Hogans and everything.
Yeah. And you know what? And then, like, again, you got to fix it. And I think, like, somebody made the comment that the Jack Perry thing, and you mentioned this on the preview, it's in Chicago, so Jack Perry gets a main event spot. They got to let that childish shit go. The victory lap aged like fucking milk. The Punk is off having the time of his life. I don't know if
you know what I found was funny that I actually saw somebody say today. that I saw today of the last time
Hey,
AEW Dynamite.
bro.
Everybody's throwing hands. But the last time
Hey,
AEW Dynamite hit over 800,000 was when they showed the footage from All In.
yeah.
So I think we can at least all admit that was a fuck up instead of, a appropriate or a proper move to do.
Mm-hmm. I have to think Ricochet will get a big program. You're not wrong, and it won't be a big program. It's going to be a match. It's going to be a booking. Like, that's what he's going to get, a spot book. The problem is what you should be doing with Ricochet right now is showing him off and making him relevant so that when you get the Osprey Ricochet match, we're into it. Sitting him on the bench until you get the Osprey match isn't great. You can book everybody that are good.
Right.
This one's for
Tonga
you.
Lola and Angelo Dawkins right now in the ring.
Right.
Yes, they are 100%. They're actually statistically proven to be more credible and more reliable. 9 out of 10 wrestling smarks recommend my stars over Meltzer's stars.
None of them feeling like superstars in the Attitude Era. You had guys and gals in the ring that made it look like they were killing each other. You don't have that anymore. You have choreographed tap. I don't know what that's referencing in any way, shape, or form. Like, we're really going to pull out. I can't even respond, Gilly, because I'm not quite sure what the point is there. Do you get it?
Well, and I think he was trying to go along with even like what we're talking about with, like,
I don't know.
You were talking about with AEW of you've got, nobody's actually, really actually hitting moves. It's all more of Afro Circus.
Jack Perry's hiding, bro.
What?
The Bucks are calling timeout. Jack Perry's hiding. He's gonna fight Danielson for a world title, and he's hiding.
It's so funny because now, like, because you're ahead of me when it comes to Collision, it's like I get to watch like the fall of the Roman Empire a little bit. I'm like, why is that a thing?
It's right now. Tama Tonga, I believe, is in the ring up against Montez.
Right. Big back elbow.
Crowd's loud.
Blind tag into Johnny Gargano. Well, and that ultimately, like you said, with like the whole program versus a match thing with Ricochet and all of that, that's become the biggest catch-22 when it comes to AEW. They have fantastic wrestlers on their roster. They have Kenny Omega, they have Pac, they have William Ospreay, MJF, Swerve, Hangman Page. You can name a list of fantastic wrestlers that they have. But they really only have good matches and good moments and everything like that because they just happen to have them on the roster.
Holy fucking shit. Excuse all my language, but holy shit.
I got a lot of guys. I don't know what screen I'm supposed to be looking at. Tell me where I'm supposed to be focused here.
Jacob Fatu is murdering people.
He's already sat there and shown he could handle the whole tag division by himself. This is why I say this man is so talented, just on a different level, that there was no one on the roster that can have the type of match that needs to happen with this man outside of Roman Reigns. Christ, John Cena sat there and named Roman Reigns his GOAT, who's still an active wrestler and everything.
Yeah. Jacob Fatu, the Bloodline, and Solo Sikoa as a.
I thought they just won, but no, they just yeeted the shit out of Tommaso Triple H Ciampa.
Right. But ladies and gentlemen, we go to commercial break on SmackDown. Collision still doing their all-star tag. And I believe Pac is getting beat up by Jack Perry right now.
No, it's Pac and I have Pac and Matthew Jackson. So again, I know I'm behind you. It is what it is. I've got a Transformers ad for SmackDown.
Yeah. So far, Dynamite's been the weakest show of the week. And actually, Collision
compared to Collision, we still haven't even gotten Rampage yet.
Well, I mean, we don't count Rampage.
We got time.
Dynamite was weak this week, and I know some people were like, "This was a good." No, it was weak. It was really weak. The good stuff was.
It was weak. It was bleak. But all out still, there has some things I'm excited for.
Yeah. Sorry.
What
was the last thing you said?
I said? But All Out still has some things I'm excited for.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like the card because I think there's potential. I think it could do well. I hope it does well. I hope it's not overly bullshit. Again, I'm optimistic as everybody is brawling on Collision right now. I actually have both screens side by side. There are some stark differences.
Are they named Ricky? Run, Ricky, run!
Timu Smackdown. That's funny. Track. DIY got a new theme. So yeah, Anthony mentioned that. And I'm sorry, we've been rambling like psychopaths, but they added some guitar. But did they drop the we are problem one? Is that still there? I was
drop
yelling when it
all
happened.
of it and start anew. Just throw that shit in the fire and start over.
Call them like you might as well call them the Lone Rangers, even though they got a team.
Canonero.
They never. Okay, so a little bit of a debate, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot, including that's why we have the anti-Uncle Dave campaign right now, because there's a lot of people out there that pretend that they know what's going on. I see YouTubers and content creators all the time act like they're in the rooms, act like they're in the building, act like they have friends in the business, and they don't. They're just guessing, or they're regurgitating something they heard some asshole say in a messy room during a podcast. A lot of times they're wrong, guys. And again, I think a lot of it's bullshit, and that's where we go with it. Wow, we're back to the action. Ciampa, big suplex.
Right.
Free Ricky Starks. I'm all for it. Start that hashtag. I'll retweet it. Team Young Bucks for the win. And here, listen, I don't like the Young Bucks. We all know this. I've been public about it. But they have Danielson down. Jack Perry's going to fight him. All they had to do was lay out Danielson on Wednesday. Lay him out. And they ran away instead. And again, they don't know how to get heat.
Do they think they just have heat because they're pieces of shit? Like, is that the only way they know how to get actual heat?
By being pussies. And they think that's heat.
You said it. We all thought it, but you said it.
I don't want to insult my favorite delicacy, but I mean, what the fuck are they doing?
Again, you said it. We all kind of probably
Johnny! He went a little short on the tope and punched him in the face. He actually looked mad like motherfucker.
You said some things too that might be punching in the face too.
Deal with it. Not you, them.
But I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to be on any end of that.
No.
Scott down for the $5 super chat saying Saturday Night Nitro will be better than All Out FE rules. Things and words and things.
This match is chaos, Nick. So at the same time, you have Ciampa go for a move, get hit with a Uranagi on the outside of the ring. Dawkins is laying someone out. This isn't like just lay around and wait your turn. There is chaos everywhere right now. Look, Johnny's getting back to the ring. They're pulling Solo out.
100%. Well, I was going to say, I'm trying to keep up with two 8-man tag matches at the same time, and my eyes can't kind of, iguana enough here.
An angry Canadian yelling at you during it all.
Just why are you not paying attention to this? I'm trying, sir. I'm trying. Everybody's down as a giant superplex from Montez on the Tomatonga. Everybody on the goddamn outside right now, just down.
What blank out there?
There? Literally, they were just down on the ground and they randomly cut to black for no fucking reason. Sorry, it was time for that hit in superplex. I thought it was goddamn Ford because he was the only one moving.
Is the censor guy just got a happy trigger finger? Like, oh, Montez
just
going to the
one
top.
more time for old time's sake. Right. We got 5 minutes left in the show. I don't think I'm going to get another chance to do it.
Oh, shit.
1, 2, Jacob.
Shit.
I always find that funny. Like, you could just walk over and kick him, but no, I'd rather just fall on him.
He's going to drop on him. Anybody that has brothers, you understand that's probably the
100%. As literally Jacob just drags Tama over and then tags him in the corner and then is just feeding everybody super kicks.
Oh,
Big pop up Samoan drop. Super kick. Jacob Fatu is on another fucking level.
Give him the fucking belt now. I don't even care. I just give him fuck the story. Just
make him the US champ. God damn, with the fucking even flow ass DDT, just planning this.
Oh man. Next Friday.
And then he tags in Solo so he can just pick the shit apart.
His main event
again, he does the perfect, I bow to the emperor type shit of he just sets up Ford, he destroys Montez Ford so Solo can walk in, hit a Samoan spike and get a 1, 2, 3.
100%. That's how we roll. That was perfect. The enforcer clears the path and the king comes walking on through. That's what a match. That was a hell of a fucking match.
100%. And I honestly was surprised that the Bloodline picked up the win. Well, I mean, you've got Solo going into the world title shot, but yeah, so the Bloodline picks up the win.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob looks dominant like a motherfucker.
I think collectively, this is one of the times that, as a collective, the Bloodline looks like absolute animals. They look like badasses. They look like a force to be reckoned with. And again, I like the idea, the two spikes, Solo reminding everybody, yeah, I was the enforcer. I was the most dangerous man in the Bloodline. Mm-hmm. Don't forget about me. Don't sleep on me.
And allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Solo.
Right. And Jacob's a monster. The Tongas killed it. They're tag champs. I'm happy. What a fucking main event. By the way, the other one's still going.
Yeah, and a way to end the lineage of Friday Night Smackdown on Fox. I know you were mentioning it while I was on the podcast. Someone mentioned in the chat of how Smackdown started off of The Rock. So at least the Fox lineage, we started it probably with a Samoan and we end it with a Samoan.
Right. Again, they were the story of the night and they set the tone. Ladies and gentlemen, SmackDown has come to an end. We will take your rating out of 10. Get in that chat. Let us know how you felt about the show. Collision's still rolling as I just got a SOO, big European uppercut, big drop kick by Okada on Claudio. And this is where everybody gets a turn to hit a finisher.
Fair enough. I want to ask, I want to see if we can do this collectively as a community and as a chat and everything, and see if we can write the eulogy for Friday Night Smackdown on Fox collectively in the chat. Everybody sends your good regards, your well wishes, sign the fucking guest list on Here They Lie Friday Night Smackdown on Fox Network here.
Right. Yeah, I mean, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today.
I wasn't saying you got to do it right now.
Will Tiffany be a successful cash in? I would put 100% on that. I'm very confident Tiffany's going to successfully cash that in.
100%. And that's mostly biased, but yes, 100%.
Fact. Less biased, but very agreeable.
Well, your rating, give us your rating. Friday Night Smackdown, last Smackdown on Fox, end of an era a little bit. Still an interesting Smackdown. Like, you really liked the ending of it.
I liked all of it. I liked a lot of it tonight.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Was up tonight. Like, the energy was really up, and I was really into a lot. And again, I think what SmackDown did really well, their in-ring was fucking outstanding tonight. A lot of the stuff they put between the ropes outside of Itchy, sorry, bro, was really...
No scratchy?
Yeah, no scratchy. Well, 7.25 out of 10 Samoans.
Is that what you give it?
Yeah, no, I'm reading. Fox. Yeah, the blinker guy got one last one in for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, we got a total of 3. He got his 3 count. He got his 3. He got his 3, blackout salute there. Twice during the Tiffany match, and then once just fucking randomly for all of 5 seconds
Mhm.
during the main event.
100%, my friend.
Hello, my friend, we'll meet again. As I've got Jack Perry with a kip up right now, as we've got Collision rolling along, and then we've still got Rampage coming after this, folks.
Mm-hmm.
I like C-Money. Hickory dickory duck. We say goodbye to Fox. Yes. Fox you. You're cool. Fox you. Fox you.
Brilliant. SmackDown tonight for me is this Collision match is never ending.
This is the show that never ends. I'm amazed we're actually getting a Rampage and it's just not Collision for an extra hour.
But somebody's told me that it's 4 hours AEW tonight.
I have not heard that. Whoever told you that is a liar.
I hope so. He's a liar.
So. But it's one. It goes into the situation. We've seen this before. It was the Copeland Christian match where it was the I Quit with fucking Spike and everything, to where it ran so long it pretty much ate up all the time of what was going to be the show after it.
Yeah.
So it just became a continuation. I feel like this is getting close to that.
Right.
And mind you, this is fucking taped. This is taped.
It's true. Pac up and over. Again, this fun match. I'm not going to hate on it.
Oh, no, this actually is this live.
Is this live?
This is live, then Chris Jericho's looks even worse. But yeah.
I don't believe this is live.
I don't know, but can Okada, like, he's just the foreign exchange student that we taught him how to say swear words in English, and that's what got him over, apparently. He just flips the bird and says bitch, and all of a sudden he's supposed to be over, when this is the same guy who was having 6, 7, 8-star matches in New Japan.
Yeah, watch the 450 and watch where his knees hit Okada. Okada doesn't feel too good right now. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Sounded
he's
like
out there on Dream Street.
7.5. Anthony saying 7. I'm going a little higher. I'm going to go 8 tonight. I thought I was highly entertained. I really fucking... It was a solid show. I might not push it into the great realm, but they gave us so much. Bailey, Tiffany burned. The triple threat burned. The tag match, the end burned. The angle with LA Knight, wicked. Yeah, I'm going 8 out of 10. That was a really fucking strong SmackDown.
You switched it up on the end. I was waiting for another burn, and then you just went wicked. I'm gonna go lower.
Okay.
I was almost gonna go actually significantly lower. But I'll meet you. Well, I was gonna go a point lower, but I'll meet you in the middle and go 7.5. It could just be more of watching the two shows. Might have lost some things in the shuffle or what have you. I liked the show. I'm just not as high on it as you were or anything like that. I think this was just, again, another average episode of Friday Night SmackDown.
Oh, it was far. Like, I can't accept that it was average. Like, that's where you're getting into the 6s and 5s.
I guess I don't rate an average episode of SmackDown that low. Then I guess. This is the Cody Rhodes title reign of episodes of SmackDown.
No,
just middle of the road.
As a farewell to Fox, as setting up the next week. There was no way that was an average wrestling show. Then what does that make the other shows we watched this week?
But I still gave it a 7.5. If I didn't say the term average wrestling show, you would have been fine with what I said.
No, I took issue with the average statement. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you took umbrage with what I said, not my actual rating. Right? I still gave it a 7.5.
Right.
It was.
We're officially in Rampage, by the way. They just kept going.
They didn't change over nothing. They didn't announce nothing. Again, this is the same thing, just like when we had the match that I just brought up before. We just, fuck it. They just keep going, so we just roll along.
Well, you just saw what they did with 8-man match, and it was so much more entertaining. This isn't a bad match. It's good, but it just doesn't, why is it still happening? 10 out of 10.
Yeah, this is like this is all of your quote unquote main events for your pay-per-view.
Right? 8-man still, yeah. It's funny. It's funny, man. Maximum Male Models versus House of Black. I'm looking, what?
That's happening on the Rampage. It's
Why?
a fit check.
Why? Poor House of Black. Collision is live. So does that mean Rampage is now live?
Oh, I at least know we are live. I still constantly always question if AEW is ever actually live.
It says live in the corner of the screen. Not on
Right. I don't know if that's
apparently
airing live or if it's actually live.
It's live in
I'm
front of
gonna
us.
say I know we're live, but I question everything else. I'm sus of everything.
Right.
This is Among Us when it comes. It's all Among Us wrestling. I'm sus everybody.
7.5, 0 to 10. No Trish. I didn't think the show was good. There you go. Misfits with you, or at least beyond you.
I literally gave it a half point less than you, and you're like, I said it sucked. It was terrible. It's the 3 stars. I gave it a half a point less than you.
We hear from Moxley on Rampage. Ooh, there we go. Mediocre SmackDown. There you go. Big Dog loves you. 5 out of 10. What the fuck? 5? Like, get the fuck out of here.
You're mad at me.
I'm mad at him. I enjoyed Raw more. Neck and neck this week. I think they were pretty bang on. I think I gave Raw an 8 as well.
Raw. I'd take Raw on that.
Yeah, I bet you would. Pause. Damien Okada got.
Baby, I like it raw.
Yeah, 5 out of 10.
I like it raw.
Look, that's why I love this channel. Dale said it was a 5. Apparently, I like stuff more than other people did.
But no, it's all in difference of opinions and everything, and that's why we like to get the whole fucking spectrum of everything.
10 out of 10 camera blackouts. I like that one. Nice one, Trek. To me, it just felt like an episode of SmackDown. Fair enough. That's what Nick said. Just an average episode of SmackDown. I thought the in-ring was fun as shit. I thought the matches were really good.
And they've been good. That's the thing. That's not anything new to SmackDown.
But it
was just nothing like, that beyond what it's been pulled me out of it. Like really captivated me.
I enjoyed it a lot.
I gave it a whole fucking whopping half a point less than you, by the way. Let the record show. This is literally like you didn't ask it with enough salt.
Talking to the
on that, and then calls it great.
SmackDown was a 5 tonight. There's no way that SmackDown was a 5 tonight.
I didn't even say that. You take it up with that.
10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Those are my people. Let's go. The only thing is gonna miss about WWE Fox era is the WWE on Fox Twitter account. Yeah, they were pretty good. I'll give you that. Packers up. There's a Packers game tonight.
Yes, Packers versus Eagles in Brazil. That's the first NFL game in Brazil, which they've also as we've got a trio of power bombs, power drivers as I do. As Jack Perry runs away, this is bitch made disloyal ass. But no, it's the first NFL game. Sorry, go ahead.
So I'm just baffled that this match is still on my TV. We are getting a 20-minute match for nothing.
We're 10 minutes into overrun already, as we've still got Collision and everything on the package. As it's up in the hashtag corner, says AEW Rampage, but everything says Collision.
Fucking Bush League.
Yeah, well, speaking of Bush League, this is the first NFL game in Brazil to where the stadium is questionable. The players have been told, don't leave the hotel. Just don't do it. Like, it's been the whole operation's been very Bush League. And
superplex.
2 go.
The douchebag trigger.
30 out of 20, says Scott.
Oh my God, let him win! Fuck, I've never cheered for the Bucks to win so bad in my life. Just let him win. End this shit.
And why is goddamn Jack Perry's again? I've got Jack Perry running away.
Ran away
from Daniel. From Daniel.
Number 1 contender. Ran away.
Your potential main event of your pay-per-view tomorrow, not in next week, not in 2 months, not in 2 days, not tomorrow, is running away from your world champion on a match you just made. What?
Right. I like this one. KJ, you think you hyped SM so much that you get caught up in your own head and you gave it slightly more higher rating if you weren't hyping them up. I just call it the way I see it. Again, I can't hype it up unless they hype me up. I literally enjoyed. I didn't go into the show going, "This is gonna be amazing." What they gave me, I thoroughly enjoyed tonight. I really did.
All right.
And Wheeler, you
between you and Gilly, each you to your own corners. Everybody, come out, touch gloves, all that. I want a good, clean fight.
Basically, Gilly's accusing me of being an AEW fan that hypes up everything and gets nothing delivered to them and still thinks it's good. They eat shit and tell you it's chocolate ice cream. But you got the win.
I don't. I think though, you think that everyone's going like hard in the paint on SmackDown.
No, majority of people are giving the higher ratings. There's only
well, no, I'm not. When you sat there and was like, you made the ice cream comment, I was like, no one's really dunking on SmackDown.
Well, no, like the fives out there. Like all I'm saying is, I enjoyed tonight. I thought it was a really good goodbye to Fox. I thought a lot of what they did was entertaining. I enjoyed it.
Speaking of Fox Feud, as the BCC picks up the win on my screen.
Yes. Yuta got the pin. After all that nonsense, Yuta gets the pin. And the Trios champions just leave Pac in the ring by himself. It was we're back to the Outrunners. The Outrunners on 2 shows that haven't stopped. This is
on the same night.
Misfit Wrestling, I like it. This tag match is boring. It went forever. And the ending, again, why do the heels never get good heat? There is no good heels in AEW. Even the one that people think
you're top heel, you're scapegoat, you're fucking renegade, you're fuck the system, buck the system.
Yeah,
heel is the one running away like a chicken shit.
Sorry, Nick. I'm actually gonna go to. I'm gonna take a break and switch to Plan B so that we are on the same.
You do all of the things. I have the Outrunners right now cutting up in on a package, and I'll send you this off as you go to a pause. As Gilly said, "No, KJ, I think you have fair opinions all the time." So see you again. Everybody come out here, touch gloves. Everybody love everybody. I'm Jackie Moon out here. Everybody love everybody.
I have absolutely no problem with people disagreeing with my take, and I will defend my opinion. I have for a long time. And again, I could be wrong. I could watch it back and be like, what the fuck? But at the end of the day, I did enjoy it. And I know Gilly, and I like to crack jokes. So don't take my sarcasm as meanness. But Queen Aminata, who we haven't seen since her haven't seen her much since her big, coming to the company.
That's fine. I don't have that. I just had Raccoon Eyes, Marina Shafir, and John Moxley take everybody out. So I think, speaking of taking everybody out, I think KJ's going to take a pause for the cause. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bouncing.
As I've got Queen Aminata coming out right now. But yeah, I'm still curious about what exactly is the motivation. What is the background, the backing behind Moxley's whole, this isn't your company anymore, or is this just going to be faction warfare, or do we get potentially here comes the money? Could we see a Shane McMahon show up at All Out at Chicago of 1 year to the date of you had to hold the show after you just fired Punk? You sit there and now you introduce a McMahon into everything. And that's what everybody, the second John Moxley was out there saying, this isn't your company anymore, everybody jumped to the Twitterverses and saying, oh, it's going to be Shane. Oh, he's going to show up here. Oh, this. Hey, the Mr. As I've got Queen Aminata versus, apparently, according to KJ, Mr. So let me know who you're taking. But again, what the fuck are we randomly just cut to like a ceiling? Sorry, I know we watch the shows all the time on the vitamins and everything. But that wasn't me. Someone confirmed that we just got a fucking camera shot of just the ceiling for no reason. So are we like cutting to, goddamn backstage segments here? But Queen Aminata 100% needs, I know she was a bit prominently featured in Ring of Honor, but I think they need to pull Ring of Honor outside of the paywall as Serena Deeb's watching backstage. But they really need to, in this new TV deal, they need to get it on TV or something, beyond a paywall. And Queen Amnata, Serena Deeb had just an easy ass victory there. As she hits the same knee that everyone was all upset about Julia hitting. But she needs to be more featured. Like, there's a lot of just overall, there's a lot of talent on AEW that needs to get featured a bit more than what they actually are. I saw the ceiling. Thank you, Tony. That was quick. Yes. Thank you, Dinesh. So everybody, Wrestling for Life. I just followed you guys on Twitter. Shout out. Appreciate you, Trek. But yeah, okay. So I know I'm not alone out here in my vitamins and my ramblings and everything. As we're highlighting the cage above the ring. Now, could AEW have done a version of a Hell in a Cell? I know we've talked about the Hell in a Cell making his comeback with Bad Blood and everything like that. Could AEW have done something around that, called it a different name, called that, the Lights Out Cell, whatever the fuck, and have that be more of a thing, and let that really be a Devil's Playground match, whatever the fuck. Go take a JR quote because he works there, and use that as a match versus the steel cage Lights Out. To me, I'm getting so confused with it because most often a Lights Out match you're fighting around the arena, but a cage match is normally decided by who escapes the cage first. Like, I always hate cage matches to an extent at times as a blood feud because half the time the goal is to escape the cage versus actually do any damage in the cage. So yeah. As we're in commercial break right now on Christ, I was going to call it Collision, but we were on Rampage as Doom in a Cell. There you go. Big Dog. AEW could get Hell in a Cell and call it Rage in the Cage. Despite, no, Billy Corgan would have probably taken an issue with that. He would have said, "You're smashing my pumpkins. Why is it all 4-on-4 on 3-on-3 crap?" Bash 8 reference for context here. I feel like we recently, literally just ending both shows, got pretty much all of that. But yeah, save Devil's Playground match for Halloween Havoc. There you go, Ronan. If WWE is going to use it, absolutely. But I feel like you follow up a Texas death match, like you have Hangman out here justified. You guys, you came into my home and were there in the same room as my child. We had to move houses. Like, my family's scarred for life from all of that. And you people cheered for him. And that was a really cool thing that he did. So, and then you've got Swerve telling him of you can choose between hate and success. And everything that Swerve's done throughout all of this. Christ, I was literally rewatching the Texas death match with my wife before we did our all-out predictions and everything like that. So this is one of the best feuds in AEW history, but it's how do you continue to elevate this story after you've done such brutal, violent matches and everything. And I think if you made it a unique thing versus you just added stipulations on stipulations, like you introduce AEW's version of a Hell in a Cell, and that's the first thing that happens. That's the first time it ever takes place. I think it would be really fucking cool. I still think that this match is going to be great, as I'm still in commercial, but it's a hat on a hat. It's a gimmick on a gimmick. They've got a lot of shit to live up to, honestly. Preview on TNT Sports right now. Amy Johnson, I don't know what you're exactly talking to. Tony, what up? Finally, a good match on Rampage. Maximum Male Models versus House of Black. Damien, I have yet to get that. I am still in commercial. I don't know if I'm apparently lacking or not, but I will remind everybody, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. We're back at it in close to, 24 hours, under 24 hours, like almost there, 12 hours here. Going to be back at it like a jackrabbit for All Out, going anything and everything, and then rolling right through all of the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. Tuesday night NXT, we've got Jordan Grace out there with an open challenge. Wednesday night Dynamite, the Fallout from All Out. Thursday, like I said, we've got original content. We've either got, Wrestling Court, we've got, the Let's Rumble podcast, we've got this thing, we've got that thing popping off. Friday night Smackdown, we're back at it. The new debut on USA as we're highlighting the Garcia MJF feud right now. I feel like this could have had the potential for this to actually be any sort of a blood feud. Like, this almost feels like what they're trying to capture a little bit close to what was Adam Cole and MJF, but it's too soon. You've got a top guy with a mid guy, respectfully. It's not clicking perfectly for this to really be this super, compelling blood feud here. Which, by the way, I did hear it and I haven't heard it fully confirmed that MJF's actual diamond ring, as they're focusing on that here, did actually get swiped in when they went over to the UK, and they just kind of made it a storyline to make it a thing. Are you taking Dubious or Joshua? Jobson, I don't. The Dubious fight was good. Are you talking about Anthony Joshua? Is that what you're asking me about? Because I am not fully catching what you're putting down, my guy. But anyways, Kevin saying KJ White and Big Nick, your YouTube is great. Well, we're only as great as you guys are, and trust me, I appreciate that. As up next, we're getting a trios match of Dustin, Sammy Guevara, and Hologram versus the Dark Order of Evil Uno, Johnny Hunky, and Alex Silver. And just, God, if they could make you not give a fuck more. Honestly. I do think that this is interesting, of the little bit of run on Ring of Honor with Sammy, with Dustin. Like, we're getting that last little kind of, last cowboy stand here. I do like, if we got the Von Erichs out there paired up with them and really put more of a focus on that. Granted, I wish we put more of a focus on Ring of Honor and it wasn't behind a paywall. Like, if this was, Friday night Ring of Honor right now, we got an hour of Ring of Honor. Way better than what we're getting for Rampage here. And honestly, most of what we've gotten for Rampage would have been Ring of Honor as it is. So why don't we just save the cost? Why don't we save the budget? Is there anyone, and I do mean anyone, I see still 70 people here with us. Appreciate you. About 10:30 evening here on a Friday night. Is there anyone out there that is really, like, actually a fan of Hologram, that is really behind this, that is excited, think the man's dope, that this man is 100%, a future champion out here? Because he's a little bit like, to me, if you crossed Sin Cara and Axiom a wee bit. Larry saying, Nick, does AEW still have no replays? I didn't know they ever didn't have replays. I don't know. I guess I'm always here live watching it, so I don't need to worry exactly about the replays. But I cannot confirm nor deny. But Carl's laughing at me, apparently. Big Dog Watt, Dustin Rhodes is still wrestling. I'm not going to fully read the back half of that, Big Dog. Choose your words kindly, sir.
Well, Dustin's a champion.
Yeah, he's a double champ, actually.
Well, but here's the thing. So instead of being with the trios that he's in, he's now with his tag partner, because you have two belts on the same people, and it's the Hologram's big debut on Rampage. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, the former,
But,
collision collider out
yeah.
there, and I sat there and everybody, hand to Jesus right now. Anybody actually a fan of hologram, or do we all just acknowledge that it exists and we move along?
There's a guy on Twitter who's praising the hell out of Tony Khan and everything he's done with hologram. Like, this proves Tony Khan can make stars.
Is his name hall8gram.com or something like that? Like, does he have any sort of attachment to hologram on his account?
Right? No. It rhymes with Rainmaker, and he's an idiot.
Well, he just says things because things say things.
In the Dark Order, barn burner of a match here on Rampage, guys.
Like I said, if they could make you not give a fuck less, I don't know how they would do it. But it's even the you mentioned of Dustin could be out there with the Von Erichs. Like, imagine that's a nice little stable, and especially if Collision stayed and it's kind of Texas, kind of their version of NXT being at Full Sail when Collision just stayed in Texas. That was a nice little hitch to your giddy up and everything. And now we're just throwing things about all the way around. And we've talked about this till we're blue in the face. Rampage should just be Ring of Honor at this point. Fuck the paywall. 90% of this show is Ring of Honor. Just make it Ring of Honor Rampage. Just have an hour every Friday night of Ring of Honor and call it good. You do an hour of it behind a paywall and fuckers don't watch it. So,
well, again, you make it destination. You make it like the old, Black and Gold. You had to seek it out and you had to find it. And the matches were so quality, and it was the future of wrestling. So you had to see it. You really didn't want to miss it. And I think Rampage would be a lot better served if that's what they did with it. If they made it feel like a developmental, if they made it feel like NXT. But here's hologram flipping around. Yeah, this is great.
Well, I just had everybody flipping around. Everybody hit their pose in the center of the ring. And unfortunately, the one who books Ring of Honor.
He fell! Yo, Nick, I changed source. What do you got going on your screen right now?
I have Evil Uno dragging Sammy Guevara right now into the corner, tagging to Johnny Hungy as we're in picture.
I don't know if I'm ahead or behind. Hologram did a flip and lost his balance. Now he kind of went whoosh. Like
he phased out of existence here.
I got Sammy setting up for something.
I got Johnny slamming Sammy on the ground. So I don't know if
the topes or the fake topes into spinneroonies.
I honestly have no idea, sir.
Hologram.
Yeah, it is a hologram with this.
This is stupid. This is fucking stupid.
This is why I was gonna say that the guy who books Ring of Honor on most of these shows is the guy who needs developmental versus they need to make the shows developmental.
Right. Yeah, he might be developmentally challenged.
You said it. We all thought it.
The thoughts expressed are that of the host, that of their own. Do not reflect that of the Wrestling for Life Network and the other people. I got picture-in-picture right now.
I've been on picture-in-picture. I got fucking Burger King commercial out here with flame-grilled cheeseburgers making me hungry as shit.
Okay. Yeah, I might be like 45 seconds behind you.
I don't know, because this match has just been so
unnecessary. Why are you doing a gymnastics routine in the middle of the ring? You're not even doing it as I'm doing this flip as a move. I'm just flipping the fuck around by myself. Like, what is this? The Olympics ended. Like, send the motherfucker to France. What are we doing? The hologram.
He's auditioning for the breakdance competition next year. That won't be happening.
No Ricochet. Hologram. How dare you bring up Ricochet when Hologram's doing his thing?
Right, yeah. Ricochet actually bounces. Hologram just appears.
Appears to think he's a wrestler, but
yeah, well, and that's why we're going to get a clone and everything too as well.
When your picture-in-picture ends, pause.
Fair enough. I've got just a straight commercial now. So, but 100%. I think Tony Khan's just becoming more of the empire out here, the emperor out here of, I'm just gonna collect all the rest of that.
But again, trying to act like this was some creative genius that allowed, Tony Khan has created this amazing thing. It's not interesting. It hasn't been anywhere near Dynamite. You haven't presented him. The fact that he's making his Rampage debut, with the Ring of Honor Tag Team champ, ooh, that screams superstar to me.
Yeah, but now he's making holograms and clones. Like, he's starting the clone empire out here. He's just going to clone wrestlers. I'll just take everything that is Swerve Strickland and make a clone of Swerve Strickland. As I've got Evil Uno, I've got a Sammy Guevara dive tag into Dustin, double clothesline on the Silver and Uno.
I have just pure full commercial. Like, it went from picture to picture to full commercial.
I stopped at Dustin hit the typical Gold Dust uppercut on Silver, and then is egging him on, and we'll see if we can find there. If not, someone's gonna call something.
Right, electric break-in 2, electric boogaloo.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so weird, man. Hologram is the top. That's so ridiculous. Where's Richard when I need him? He'd answer my question. Who is your pick for Burns versus Brady tomorrow night? UFC, KJ, Nick. Burns.
I gotta look at the fight. Is that Gilbert Burns? I don't know who Brady is. I'm a terrible MMA fan getting caught on the spot here. Yeah,
because the big fight is next weekend as Sugar gonna go to war.
Sugar, why you get so fly? Sugar.
Where
are you at?
I just got the clothesline, another clothesline. I don't even know why we're syncing up on this shit, but whatever. You can go. There's the uppercut, so I'm right there now. So yeah, I was about a minute behind you.
Yeah, I've got low blow.
I like better in my head.
There you go. Big knee, bulldog. You there?
Right. No Ricochet. Jeez. KJ and Nick with AEW. It start with Cody left the company when the whole issue with Punk began. Fire. Cody and Punk to me is exactly what, if you guys were here earlier and I went on my fucking tirade about booking the wrong people and listening to the wrong people, Punk and Cody, and one day it will be told, the dark side of AEW will come out one day, and it will be explained that even Cody left because he was pushed away. And that's the problem. You backed the Bucks, you backed Jack Perry, you backed Sammy Guevara, and you didn't back guys like Cody and Punk. And look who's drawing all the fucking money for another company.
We didn't start the fire. It was always burning. Tony Khan, Cucamonga. Jack Perry has a plan.
Negative 10 out of 10. There you go. Let's go completely ridiculous.
That's part of the Dark Order. So, I mean, does that break even then?
Right. Not anymore, actually, because that would be -1 or 10, and both of them are not. They both
combined them. I fusion those them together.
-10's the new member.
Yeah, as I've got double moonsaults of Sammy Guevara and Hologram.
Yeah.
Canadian Destroyer.
Yes.
We synced up on a shit show.
He hasn't appeared yet. He hasn't appeared yet. So I don't know. And why would Ricochet be? Why would you put Ricochet on Rampage? Why not have him?
Forfeit day.
You didn't have him on Dynamite. I don't get it.
Why is Ricochet at least not in the Fatal 4-Way for the Continental Classic Championship at least? At least.
Right.
Something. The man came out in a battle royal that he was not even second or third fiddle in with all of that. So
right.
It's a great thing that he's there, but they've already tripping it over their shoelaces out the blocks here.
Mm-hmm. So Hologram gets the pin off of 450. Like, I mean, this guy's so amazing that his finisher's a 450. He comes up to fucking Dustin Rhodes' nipples, but he's
and it's just this like strobe music, like do 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 do.
Again, it's kind of one of my beast bosses. You're not wrong. I mean, you should be making Ricochet feel like a big deal. Like Ricochet should get the same treatment that Julia got in NXT. They should feel special. They buried him on the pay-per-view. They didn't use him on. Well, they had an okay match with Fletcher. They didn't use him this week. He's not on the pay-per-view. Why is Ricochet not at All Out?
I'm all out of excuses
Like
as to why he's not there.
Right? Okay, we're saving him for Ospreay, KJ. So what? He couldn't fight Hologram at fucking All Out, or you
could have done Kyle Fletcher or
something.
Any sort of shit like that. Yeah. Speaking though of tag teams that aren't used, screw you, Gates of Agony, Cage of Agony. But the Ass Boys there, Billy Gunn's kids, 100%. The Gun Club should be like prominent tag team title holders here. They should be one of your top tag teams here. Yeah. They're fantastic as a tag team.
They're going to do really good things in NXT and then WWE one day.
Do they jump the pack and go straight to NXT? Go straight to main roster?
They all go to NXT. They all need training. We
all float down here, Georgie.
Yeah, they all float. KJ Ricochet getting repackaged as
the clone. This is Tony Khan of just trying to transplant his sentient mind into a wrestler. You do the moveset I want to do, so let me just be you.
Right. Carl's a big fan. St. Nick. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not bringing you any presents though on December, any shit like that. So you can have that.
That's why no
Juice just going at Tony Leona different. Man, you want to do the Samoan shit in his face.
Yeah. Like again, if this match here, House of Black versus MXM, if you put that on Dynamite this week, it would have helped Dynamite. It would have been it's going to be a better match than what we saw on Dynamite this week. That's where I'm struggling.
Imagine though, if you got rid of all the matches on Rampage, that at least prop it enough that we can sit there and say, well, this is a good match. It should have been on Dynamite. Imagine if they were all actually on Dynamite and you got left with what Rampage could have, should have, would have been.
Right.
Oh my God. Like, ain't nobody watching that shit. At this point, they're needing to fucking keep something around just so they can keep keep the lights on.
Yeah.
As I've got a Burger King commercial.
Yeah.
Making my fat ass hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Shit. The rumors of Mustafa Ali debuting at All Out. I'd be down, but I think it'd be another guy just that does flips that's lost in the shuffle.
I mentioned this, and I don't know if we talked about this fully on the predictions and preview show. I mentioned this, I know, while we're on the break, of Shaynath McMahon.
Yes.
Could you see him show up at All Outeth?
Nope. I don't believe it. I won't believe it till I see it. And if you are bringing Shane in with this Moxley angle, the Moxley angle's not even started to bubble up. And you, like, this week's Dynamite, you didn't build more anticipation of, like, who's Moxley with. He came out, made a weird promo about Darby again, but never really alluded to anything. So if you bring Shane in now, it's too soon. Like, you haven't established the foundation of the story. Like, what you would do is you have Moxley, Marina, they recruit a couple people, they start fucking with people that matter, and then Shane shows up. So my vote, don't do it. They might do it because, you know, fucking Tony, like a virgin on prom night, can't hold his load, and here we go.
Well, do you think that second question, do they ever actually do it, or is this just the Moxley thing, just faction versus faction? And that seems to be, that's where I think this ultimately is going. It's faction against faction because factions are trendy, and Tony always seems to be like a day late and a dollar short when it comes to be what's entertaining in wrestling.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I think ultimately I gave it high praise. Like when Moxley returned and he was cryptic, and that first week, the second week they kind of stepped in some mud, and it felt like they kind of like, you didn't really, what was the point of this? And the crowd was dead during it, so it was upsetting. But again, we've seen it, like when the Elite formed and they beat up Tony Khan, it never went anywhere. Like there was no real follow-up. Like You know, yeah, sure. Tony showed up and let Jack Perry set his employees on fire. But again, there was a story to tell there. There was a real rivalry that hasn't manifested. Oh, they're not
what
doing
was the payoff of the Elite versus Tony?
nothing.
It just
The Elite
dissipated.
The anarchy in the arena, and then they followed it up with another fucking multi-man match that went nowhere.
Right.
It is Vince McMahon storytelling. It is stop and starts. It is 50-50 booking. It is everybody gets a chance to show off the shit they can do. There is no heels. There's no big men. There's no strong personalities. All your
placating. It is placating.
It's soft. It's baby shit soft.
100%. Most people would say baby food, but I'm fairly fine with baby shit.
Right.
Because that's what baby food becomes. And to me, it's also even, I was getting behind it, and then we got Raccoon Eyes, Marina Shafir, to where she was almost unrecognizable because she literally looked like she just took off the cowl of playing Batwoman or Batgirl or something. And then
we got Shane Taylor with Mordant. What the fuck is Mordant?
You're shitting me that this is where we bring Shane Taylor back into this. You're fucking shitting me. Why Shane Taylor with Mortis of all people? What is this fucking Tales from the Hood? What the fuck are we doing with this bullshit? This is ass.
Yeah. Now Roddy has an issue with Hook.
The fucking pilots. Failure to launch. How fitting that they have fucking pilot gears because they can't figure out a fucking landing gear, because we've got failure to launch out here confronting Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, and Mortis, fucking Black Taurus, fucking goddamn Guar. The bassist for Guar is out there hanging out with Shane Taylor Promotions.
Right.
Ah!
This is the worst thing involving fucking airplanes and pilots since fucking United 93.
Oh, thank God you went there. I thought other things, but I can't say
I know what you thought, and
It is the month of September.
I might be on this side of the border, but I ain't stupid.
We've got the House of Black coming out right now.
I don't care which seeds were planted. This show sucks.
This is getting figured a lot. I still, though, there's just so much, though, with the House of Black. They've been all the way there and then just cut out at the fucking knees.
Right. Cody is the American Nightmare. Yes, he is. It's very accurate. Luke and Layla Inman.
There you go. Shout out. Who was saying what though about me before the one that you clicked on before that?
I wanted to read this one. Yeah. TK just needs to hire one or two smart minds and everything would change. He'll probably already paying 2 people that couldn't do it. He has 27 people who are part of the creative team, according to Tony Khan. His words out of his jabber mouth. 27 people are involved in creative. Just give them power, TK. We want them to succeed. Give us the best. They've had it. They got Jerry Lynn. They got Bryan Danielson, who should know better. They've had plenty of people. They had access to Bully Ray. They had access to the Big Show. They had Mark Henry. Mark Henry running his mouth. Mark Henry made bank, did nothing, and now that he's a free agent, has nothing good to say about AEW. No, I wouldn't say nothing. I'm exaggerating. But he's been literally like, they're fucked. Paul White the other night said, Tony paid me a shit ton of money to get in the ring. I haven't done shit. Yeah, he hasn't. We saw him take one bump in 3 years.
Why the fuck would you pay Paul White a bunch of money to wrestle at that point when he could barely wrestle, period?
Who are they carrying to the ring? What is this?
They're the judges of the Friday night fashion fight. That's what we have, folks. Their words, not mine, not ours. Yes, this still can be fun. This still can be entertaining and everything with that. And Yeah, I just find this one from Carl though. I can't believe this, but Nick was right all along. WCW for AEW without the NWO. I wasn't the first to say it. It's just the fucking. It was reading the fucking tea leaves of this has gotten more and more WCW as the days go by. The seeds of Rampage just sucks, says Larry.
No, and back to the original thought about what we were saying about the people. They've had geniuses. They've had some really good people.
Well, yeah, shit. Yeah.
And the problem becomes, like I said earlier, nobody is going to go to Jericho. And if somebody did go to Jericho and say that's stupid, or Jack Perry, look what happened to Punk. Punk said, no, we're not going to go through the glass. And Tony Khan is ballless and won't step up. And that becomes the problem. It doesn't matter who's around. And that's what the WCW, like you just got credit for. That's exactly what happened in WCW. We have a really great idea. We've been building Sting Hogan for a year. Not going to work for me, brother. All right, there we go. Out the window. And that is the issue with AEW. If somebody came in and said, listen, we're not going to do the learning tree, Jericho would cry to Tony and get everything Tony wanted. People are signing with AEW for the paycheck, not the fucking exposure. And they know that. Basically, it's a feeder system for the WWE.
Well, and I do think there is still talent there, but there's also still a good chunk that it took all the way of going through Tony to actual, staff to producers to agents to where it got down to actual fucking talent of CM Punk had to sit there and say, no, we're not doing this spot because no one would actually say anything. Like, I don't know if it's a credit or a detriment saying we have 27 writers and that's what you give out. It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times. Are you see Montgomery Burns?
It's the same company that bragged about signing Jennifer Pepper Potts, who has come in and done nothing with Sasha. Sasha has a personal writer that they brought in just for her, and her shit sucks.
Is it funny that Brian Gewirtz catches a ton of shit for being Dwayne's personal writer, but fucking Miss Potts there, Pepper Potts, Tony Stark, doesn't catch no shit for being Mercedes' personal writer?
Because Sasha doesn't need a writer. Sasha needs an acting coach. Sasha needs to understand.
She needs literacy. She needs a Sasha shirt is what we need now to donate more towards literacy or to, the Screen Actors Guild or something to help people learn how to fucking speak or whatever. The fact that, think about it, the two wrestlers that I've ever known of that had quote unquote personal writers are Dwayne The Rock Johnson, biggest wrestler of all time, arguably. Biggest Hollywood, actor of all time, arguably. Right. And Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the list. That's it. Like, are you shitting me? Are you shitting me?
Yeah. So there's judges at ringside giving like numbers, and now Monsour or one of them is ripping up the marks and
as Brody just flies through as literally dude is just wearing a trash bag. Planks and fucking yellow tape as Brody King throws up a 10 sign. Biggest pop of Rampage is Brody King throwing up a 10 sign.
Brody King is the man of the night for me as far as AEW programming goes. Brody King just did all the things that we would want him to do.
Right. As we're in picture, or at least I am, sir.
Yes, as well.
Right.
Mansour. Oh.
No, you're good. Mansour Rampage. I've always gotten caught up of when Tony Storm it was Rampage and Coliseum.
Yeah. AEW is the Mickey Mouse of wrestling. Again, I hate the nights, and part of tonight feels like, AEW is taking a lot of heat from us. But I'm frustrated. I really am. And I'm watching shit that it's not good. Pepper's not. That's fucking
the biggest issue, and I'll leave you with this before I take a quick pause here. Of even with now the lawsuit coming out towards AEW, is it always a trend when it comes to AEW of big moment? Here comes some bullshit. Here comes some bad news down the pike here.
All right. There you go. Rampage dragged so hard, especially after 2 hours of Collision. And we've seen it before where we 2 hours of SmackDown. And when SmackDown's good, when SmackDown's cooking, and let's say I gave SmackDown a slight, let's say it was a 7 tonight. Still, You're going from that to like a throwaway show. Like the fact that I got the Dark Order in a match. Nobody gives a flying fuck about the Dark Order. If you're going to make people sit around and stay on a Friday night, then you got to make it worth it. And do you remember, do you remember the glory days? Punk makes his debut on Rampage, does like 1.2 million people. That's the days. That was the heyday. That might have been the peak of AEW. I hope not, but it could be. Hologram's not going to cut it. The House of Black's not going to, the House of Black, with the way they're booked, isn't going to cut it. The Dark Order is not going to cut it. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara aren't going to cut it. Those aren't going to bring people in on a Friday night. Yeah, you'll get a few lonely fucking people like us, apparently. But it's not going to draw numbers. AEW needs to stop putting the belts on these older wrestlers. Love to see a mean heel version of Wardlow and give him a belt. There is a rhyme and a reason for a vet to get the belt. I don't mind it sometimes. Like, I mean, Dustin Rhodes, like, for my money, don't give Dustin Rhodes the Ring of Honor Trios title. If you're going to do it, make Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs the Trios champions. Make that division a division. Have Trios teams that we can identify. But you don't have that. Same thing with the tag teams. So that's my issue right off. And then to your back end of your point there, Tony, my struggle is I grew up, like my faves of all time are heels. And the real heel workers I loved. Like, I mean, I am a diehard Triple H fan, but the heel Triple H was the best. Kurt Angle as a heel was so good. But you go through history, even heel Jake the Snake, those guys that really could, pick people apart and be good, mean heels. But even the big guys like that, when when a Umaga or a big, heel Big Show, a heel Kane, when Kane showed up, you knew somebody was about to get fucked up, and it was probably going to be your favorite wrestler that was going to get dusted. There is nobody. And Wardlow's a good show. Wardlow's had multiple runs that they've dropped the ball time and time again. They had money, organic, natural money with Wardlow, and they punted it because you gave him the belt and then you put him in a rivalry with security guards and Don Callis. That's the issue. There is no strong... Look at the major heels in the show. MJF, we love MJF. Nick wears the scarf. But MJF's been watered down and diluted. We've heard a lot of his jokes. It's low-hanging fruit. You're lame. You're stupid. You're silly. I don't like you. But who are the badasses as heels? We just saw Jack Perry run away during a main event. He's battling for the title tomorrow and ran through the fucking crowd, terrified. They can't all be pussies. The Young Bucks running away. We saw Mercedes and Camille run away. Camille could beat up half the women's roster at the same time. But she's running more than she's fighting. Who are the big, scary heels in AEW that will allow you to create convincing and solid heroes? I'll wait. Because without good heels, you don't get good baby faces. You don't. And the one time, like, again, even with Paige and Swerve, it's tweener and tweener more than heel baby face. But if that's pure heel and he's burning down the house of a pure baby face, now all the fans in the stands are beside themselves. How could they do that to our hero? What a villain. But there are none. It lacks villains. And without villains, you don't get heroes. And without heroes, you don't sell tickets. So you can tell me you can do these situational heel baby face. You can't, because then we don't believe you. If you change, if you're Americana MJF for a month and then it just goes away without explanation, it showed up without explanation, we don't believe in you anymore. Ask Paul White what too many heel turns do, too many face turns do. When we don't believe in who you are as a person, as a character, then we give up on you. That's the way it is. But again, same thing with Jericho. We know Jericho. We watched Jericho for all these years. And then one day he just woke up and bumped his head and became the learning fucking tree. We don't believe you. You're acting. and we see through the acting. And that's where people are tuning out because it's fake. And that is one of the dreaded words. But AEW is giving me fake presentation that I can't believe in and I can't cheer for at this point in a lot of ways. And I was here on Wednesday singing their praises for the Adam Page angle. Thought it was amazing. One of the best things they ever did. I don't give a fuck if it was Swerve's house. But at the end of the day, all your bad guys can't be fucking chicken shits. You can have a chicken shit heel. They can't all be chicken shits. We watched it tonight on Collision. The Bucks, the Yuta got the win. Why is Yuta getting the win? Oh, because the Bucks are going to beat him tomorrow. Get heat. Come up with a better plan. But you need to know how to build heat. Why didn't Jack Perry and the Bucks lay out Danielson on Wednesday night? Why didn't he get to hit him with that chair and have all the people in the fans in the crowd tuning in that love Danielson appalled that the heels beat the shit out of him? Right? Say what you want, but look what we're seeing with the Bloodline. The Bloodline come in and fuck people up. They don't run away. Shit, half the time you're holding Jacob back. Right? Who are the badasses in this company? Help me. Starks, Miro, House of Black. What about him? By the way, this match is still going. Another long match here tonight. Creative Tony Schiavone just says he landed on his head but still bounced up. So you point out a botch, but he recovered well. Pardon me. Creative has no hide in all those Jekylls. Fact. I'll take that. They need ABC storyline in AEW like WWE with their storylines. It's not just WWE though. It's anything you ever watch that's compelling, that is in that vein. There's always a protagonist and there's always an antagonist. That is storytelling 101. If you've ever done a writing course, if you've ever paid attention to any book you've ever read, any movie, show, even if it's, not an action movie, it's just a drama. There's always a protagonist and an antagonist. There's a hero, there's somebody everybody's rooting for, and then they have to overcome. And in AEW, that doesn't exist. Not to the extent that it needs to. And it's got to be linear, right? ABC, you're right, 316.8, and keep it linear. If MJF is mad at Ospreay and wants to brawl Ospreay, keep Garcia away. All this mixing and matching and who's mad at who. And if BCC's the trios champions, then don't have them in a tag match for the titles. If Jack Perry is the TNT, you can do it once in a while, but everybody's doing it. So you're not creating a solid mid-card rivalry for Jack Perry. You're not creating a good rival for Danielson. You're not creating a good rival for your tag champs or your trios champs. Everything is just shuffled in the wash. Again.
Speaking of good mid-card and shuffled in the wash, my sir. No, you literally, I was literally on my pause of like, I don't even know if I need to come back, man. It's just cooking with fucking gasoline. Like, I don't even want to fuck up the flow here, but no, you nailed it on the head. And it is a little bit of which came first, the chicken or the egg of, if you don't have villains, you don't have, heroes. And if you don't have heroes, you don't have villains. You got a lot of in-betweens. Like even you could almost make the case of Swerve right now as a true babyface. He's had to a bit of atone for everything they did, but he still walks that line. And Hangman's even more close to that line than I'd say Swerve is. He's not a true heel, but he's also not a true face. But yeah, that's the best you're gonna get when it comes to AEW.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, I again, like, it's not. I'm trying not to harp on this, and that's why I took my tone way down.
Harp, please keep playing the harp, my guy. Trust me, I was out there you were singing the serenades,
right?
You were the siren singing me closer to the shore,
right? As Will Ospreay is on screen right now, by the way. But it's again, it's late night thoughts with KJ. But
well, no, 100. It's just honest thoughts of honestly. I know I said honest and followed by honest redundancy, but that's really what it is. Honestly, if you find a more AEW fan than even us, we're literally out here watching everything and anything. We're watching fucking kickoffs, 0 hours. We're going before pre-shows for a fucking 5-hour show and everything like that. We watch anything and everything. Go ahead.
Think about this, Nick. There's people that go on stream, and they're on right now that are reviewing SmackDown with an AEW hoodie on. And not watching AEW.
They hate him now. They hate him now.
But you see what they're doing?
Fake cars ran out of gasoline.
But that's the thing that baffles me. And then when people say that I hate this product, I watch more of this product, with the exception of you, than almost anybody. Like, we watch all of it. I run into a lot of fans. Oh, did you watch Rampage? I don't watch Rampage. I love AEW. It's the best ever. Way better than WWE. TNA sucks. Fuck them all. But I don't watch Rampage or Collision. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's really interesting. We'll do like the Collision shout outs, and not everybody's quite exactly jazzed for a Collision, but everybody's super jazzed for Dynamite and everything like that. Even though Collision might have the better card. No, we literally watch anything and everything. So that ends Collision as we're going to.
We finally over? Shit. We're not watching this. The people can watch that on their own. We did a better preview.
Yeah, no, but long story short, we watch anything and everything across every platform, whether it be we were literally doing the all-out predictions and preview shows and debating backstage between the three of us of if we stay and try and watch House of Glory. That's how much wrestling we watch. So that's why it's disingenuous of anybody's like, oh, you only hate this company, oh, you only like this company. No, we're just honest. I'm sorry that honesty's a rarity now, but no, we're just honest. And that's what needs to be said.
I promise anybody that can still hear my voice at this point, as I know our numbers have dipped a little in the late hours of Rampage, but it is an absolute promise of this channel that if there's something good in front of us, we're not going to call it shit just because of the letter.
One of us won't. We'll still argue about it.
But again, we will tell you what we think of it. We will debate what we think about it. But if it's good programming, we'll tell you it's good programming. We will not watch good programming and act like it's not good programming just for the sake of the clicks or for the sake of the argument. And this goes back to what I was saying when you were on your break of like, after we leave here tonight, go put on a movie. It always starts with the bad guy blowing some shit up. The bad guy does something. Then the good guy's out saving the world. They touch on the good guy. Oh, he's a hero. Then all of a sudden something goes bad. Then the first encounter between the good guy and the bad guy fucks up the good guy. Then the second encounter, maybe it's a bit back and forth. But now the good guy's got to find a way to get over the bad guy. And then the bad guy usually gets an advantage, like stealing the girlfriend or stealing, the family or whatever. And then the good guy's got to find a way to get, justice. And they go and eventually the hero, and the whole time during the movie, we talk about it all the time. And again, when we talk about tweeners, you are a big fan, and so am I. Deadpool just comes out. That man is a reluctant hero. Wolverine, reluctant hero. But at the end of the day, they become the hero of the movie because they're up against worse. They're up against villains. So when people say, well, you can have a tweener, and everybody throws Austin at me. But when Austin was a tweener, his rival was Vince McMahon.
And that's why Vince McMahon was so visceral and so reviled and such a vile human being and everything. Well, beyond just his normal shit. But that's why you have to have a villain that matches the hero. You can have an Austin that can walk that line, and he's still in between there. We saw it with Moxley, but you need a villain that's umpteen higher to the degree than that. Like you mentioned CM Punk and MJF earlier when we were talking about best feuds in AEW history. Right. That was an example of CM Punk to a good chunk of people's a bit of a heel, a bit of a villain and everything. Yeah. But MJF was despicable, like a motherfucker, literally out there, and the blood-stained T-shirt and everything. With them at a meet and greet of you have to. Every form has an escalation to it.
Right. Yeah. Swerve is a face in the crowd reaction. No. Go back and watch Wednesday. They showed the crowd 3-4 people.
This is, yeah, that was interesting to see. And then the crowd, this is arson. This is arson.
They don't know who to cheer for because the commentary team sucks and the booking.
I don't know who to pick because they're both fucking odds-on favorites here. They both kind of need it.
I mean, I pick Paige. I think Paige needs it a lot, and I think I like when Paige is being an asshole. I like a heel Paige. I like when he's in your face and just wants to cause chaos. That is a good Paige.
Can we collectively put some respect on Hangman Adam Page's name at this point? I know he was labeled the empty-headed dumb fuck and everything.
Yeah,
but he's also still been at the cornerstone of essentially everything that has been prominent in AEW. Has been Hangman Page.
Listen,
like he is the AJ Styles of AEW.
I know he got called an empty-headed dumb fuck because, again, he made a dumb decision. He went into business for himself, jeopardized the pay-per-view, blah, 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 blah. I get it. It was a mistake. He got roped into something that gaslit, right? I mean, like, he got roped in, and in his head, and we've all been there at some time where we think we're defending the right cause, and then when we step back, we're like, oh, fuck. Maybe
I shouldn't have done that.
So, but there's always been validity to Hangman Page if you did it proper. And his title run was lackluster, but there's been moments of brilliance.
I still like MDB here is awesome. No, I'm still calling him Adam Beige. Right. That's kind of what he's been though. He's not even gray. He's more just beige.
Yeah. I watch AEW, Ring of Honor, and TNA, but I don't watch WWE because it sucks. Well, that's your choice, but I mean, the last company on that list.
If you don't watch it, honestly, how can you be a guesstimate gauge of it? And that's even though, again, what we say with how much we watch of whether it be a battleground wrestling or an XPW or a GCW, we can speak to it because we've sat there and watched it. Like Progress Wrestling and everything. Like I had somebody sit there and talk about how, just literally out of the blue was mentioned in Progress. I was like, have you actually watched it? Like, okay.
Well, that's the same thing. Like the fans will shit on like AEW fan. Oh, TNA is just Bush League and da-da-da. You're like, wait, they just put 3,000 people in a building and had an amazing pay-per-view. And you guys also only put it's weird shit like that. But I think you and I, for the hours we put in studying and watching wrestling, we've earned the right to have the opinion we have. And at the end of the day, none of the companies completely suck. There's good in all of them.
And there's also bad in all of them.
There's bad in all of them as well. Tonight we saw Vinci, whatever the fuck. I didn't love that. You liked it. I didn't love it. But then we see other things.
I justified it.
Yeah, fair enough. It just wasn't my favorite choice. AW fans stay hating on TNA. It's like that. Like it's that fearful. Like if we got to keep bad mouthing them so they don't pass us by. Well, you know what I mean?
100%. But I also like even the community that we've built in. I know we're answering comments and everything.
Yeah,
but I still like that we've created the open dialogue and everything like that. Like versus the whole, if you like you said, brain maker and everything like that. If you don't agree with me, you're wrong. What have you? Versus. No, we'd rather, even between the two of us, rather have the dialogue and rather discuss about it and acknowledge how much good's going on in wrestling instead of focusing on nuances to be mad about. Like, I got a lot of other shit in my life to be mad about. Pro wrestling really at times ain't the most that needs to be mad about.
Yeah. And again, there's a lot of other things. And again, we try and enjoy the wrestling. I mean, we didn't sign up for this to be mad at the wrestling. We didn't sign up for this. Some people use the anger and the cursing and swearing and pretending that you're screaming, when you're just sitting in your mom's basement yelling at the top of your lungs at nobody. They use that for clicks. And that's not our style. When we yell, we're mad. When we're upset, we're upset. When we're laughing, we're enjoying. And that's the way it is. And at the end of the day, again, like this says, WWE is good right now. If you don't like it, that's fine. Don't watch it. Don't not watch it. Don't not watch it. The double negative is killing me. It's because it's against your values as an AEW fan. And that's the thing. Like, To say WWE sucks and it's not worth the watch, well, then to me, you're not a wrestling fan. You're looking for something different. And because there is, like tonight, we saw Bailey and Tiffany have the best women's match of the week, period. They burned and they killed, and it was a solid match. And those two women tore it up. And, I'm watching Soraya and Hayter. I'm watching things that don't compare. And again, if you want to shut yourself off, like I have friends that like, death metal's the only music out there. All right, bro, but I like fucking, I'll go with you with a little bit of fucking hardcore, but I'm also going to swing my biggie and I'm going to fucking pause. And we're going to enjoy a little bit of fucking two-step. Like,
does it big hang low? Does it wobble to and fro? Can you
Right.
tie it in a knot? Can you tie it in a bow?
We're going to call last call tonight. We're going to tap out. We're back tomorrow. But what I will explain to everybody, and this is my philosophy with my entire life, variety is the spice of life. Try everything. Do everything. Be a part of everything. Yeah, you can pick and choose what you don't like once you try. But if you just get narrow-minded and focus on certain avenues, you're missing out on a lot of shit in life. And that's not the way to be. Is the show still on? No, we're just rambling.
We're still on. I'm getting a replay of everything. The build-in, the 0 hour hype up, the kickoff for All Out here.
Right. But that's it. That's it, folks. That was a long night. We're pushing 4 hours. We will be back for more than 4 hours tomorrow, live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, go get your Meltzer shirts. If you love the channel and you hate Meltzer, go get it. Someone asked, do you get your ratings from Observer or Cage Match? Both suck. Both are biased. Both are just feeding the frenzy. Those ratings suck. I never go to Cage Match. It doesn't mean shit, because if you already like it, that's what you do. And there's only a small pocket of people that do it. You're looking at like 5% of the fan base that actually takes the time to give a fuck about something like Cage Match. And Wrestling Observer has zero credibility in 2024. So don't use either. Come to a place like this with the people that are watching every minute of the wrestling.
And it's just everything is so objective and subjective. That's the thing. That's the line with pro wrestling. So as much as even you might give something a different rating than I do, doesn't mean I'm right, you're wrong, what have you. It's still it's a discussion point because it's all subjective versus acting like it's gospel.
Yeah, we've been arguing over Wendy Chu for 2 weeks. It's fucking hilarious. It's just the thing.
Just fuck Wendy Chu,
right? And I think that's the problem that gets lost in this. You can enjoy what you enjoy, but then you can't also ignore the facts and the figures. You can't have it both ways. Like you can enjoy it, but you also got to acknowledge it. And I think someone else talked about that this week. But tomorrow night should be fun. If you can still hear my voice, we are here for fun tomorrow. We are going to be positive. We're excited. We're going to point out the stuff we don't love, but we are looking forward to cheering the whole fucking night. I want surprises. I want twists. I want turns. And I really think the in-ring is going to overachieve tomorrow. And you heard it. I said it on the preview show. I said it on Wednesday. I think Jack Perry and Danielson is going to overachieve. I think a lot of people are going to overachieve. I really think tomorrow is going to be an amazing pay-per-view. Be a friend, tell a friend. Join us for it. Saturdays are always crazy on this channel. And we can't wait. And yeah.
You said that like we wasn't positive, but here comes the money.
No, I'm just adding.
I know 100%, but I'm still thinking, did we end All Out in Chicago with "Here Comes the Money"?
I'd be shocked. I'd be absolutely stunned. So if you do it, because I would be floored. I highly do not anticipate it. I would put good money against it.
Get ahead of an Netflix documentary, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here before we even are back at it for All Out tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, like that beautiful bearded man beside me said. So, folks, be a friend, tell a friend. We're kicking the doors down towards 6K. We're knocking shit off the hinges. What are you trying to point at?
Oh, just Tony asked when's the pay-per-view, and it's right.
Oh, right there, right then. Right here, right now.
I understand Nick and I are pretty, but you can look around the screen a little bit.
You gotta fluff up the beat a little bit. Yeah, I'm a fluffer.
There you go. Look, you called it, Tony, McMahon. I love it. That's funny as shit.
Right, there we go. But our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our beards are real as too. Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is all authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you put that for life with it.
Folks, tomorrow night we go all out. See you on the flip side. Good night.